right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's
Friday.
Whoa.
That was better, Al?
Very
That was
good.
great.
Yeah, that was nice on key, everything. It is Friday, October 4th, and I'm here with Al, Brandon, Lindsay. Hey, guys, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Well, let's get right to it. Let's start with a quick update on a story we talked about a couple days ago. You guys remember this woman who's being called the Lion Queen after she climbed over the fence at a lion exhibit at the Bronx Zoo? You remember she was dancing, waving her arms, taunting a lion. Well, now the NYPD have ID'd her as 32-year-old Maya Autry, and they're actually asking us and the public's help in tracking her down, even though the woman's Instagram clearly shows she's actually been spotted recently in Times Square posing with actual members of the police force. So also, just so you know, right before she went in with the lions, she took a huge hit of some inhalation at the zoo and said, I'm going to go mess with MFer Mother Earth. So all of it was planned, the whole thing. And It's just so disturbing because you could have lost a lion, or her life.
It seems like it was planned because she also, I don't know if we have the photo of Mike Tyson. She posted Mike Tyson with a tiger in water on her Instagram saying, like, I love you, King.
Oh, that's funny.
So she really is the lion queen or animal whisperer. I don't know.
That's my body with Mike Tyson's photoshopped head on it, by the way. But I'm asking, where's Peta? If we can't find her, I know Peta can find her. If Peta can stand outside of Pittsburgh Stadium when they brought in Michael Vick, then you can find this woman.
She was taking pictures with
she was on Instagram 2 hours ago. No, 3 hours now.
I'm saying Peta's going to find her, and I think she's going to run with her 15 minutes. Like, obviously.
What do you think?
She's on Instagram rapping. Did you see it?
I did not. I think I'm good on that. But yeah, I just wonder if it's gonna bring copycats. I mean, I hate to old man this, but you know, we saw it with people licking the ice cream. First of all, that's super gross and dangerous. Yeah. But then people are like, oh, she got famous, I'll get famous from it. And it's just like, it's all fun and games, so somebody has to go in there because the people, the trainers and the handlers get attacked as well.
Yeah.
So if you're in there and the lion is about to assault you, somebody else has now got to put their life on the line because you're hot. Yeah, I don't think that's cool.
I don't think it's cool either, and I do hope she gets jail time as a deterrent, like you always say. Because she did trespass and break several laws.
Or just something. And everybody's like, well, raise the fence up. It's like, well, now kids can't see because grown-ups are trying to get their Instagram likes up. It's disappointing.
All right, guys, a lot of people, including some of you, are still upset over Amber Geiger's 10-year prison sentence. They feel, and I think a lot of us, to be honest, feel like it's way too lenient given she shot an unarmed black man in his own home. But get this, now some of the jurors are explaining the decision. So check out what one of the white jurors said about it.
I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her. And I didn't feel like I had any right to speak for him, and he isn't there to talk for himself. But listening to how people talked about him, I felt like he would forgive her.
And now I want you to hear what one of the black jurors said about her decision.
This case was not like any other case. You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that killed unarmed black men, when they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Geiger, ever since she killed that man, she has not been the same. She showed remorse in that she's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Well, you know who doesn't have the rest of his life is both of them.
Yeah, and to the white juror talking about I don't think Bo would want that. Y'all weren't on free lunch together. You don't know him like that. So that's why he had to come back and say, oh, I can't speak for him. So that right there, that rubbed me the wrong way.
You know what else rubbed me the wrong way is the jury is supposed to speak for that man. That's what they're there for.
Wow.
That's the whole purpose. Who else speaks for the
Did you guys think it was weird that no one brought up the text messages that she sent, or that the fact that she started sexting with her boyfriend a couple days after she had murdered him? Like, how much remorse is that showing? Like, she's back to thinking about her private parts again instead of thinking about the fact that there's a man in the morgue because of her action. So I find this repugnant and reprehensible and quite embarrassing.
Does this piss you off even more?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Lindsay, what do you think?
It does, because I think that she was remorseful with the idea knowing that she might go to jail. So I will be crying on the stand, too.
I see. If she got caught.
Yeah, it's not about being remorseful about being racist or killing a black guy.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, and also to the point, she went back to her life the next day if she goes back to texting the guy that she's having an affair with, which is also a crime.
And let's keep in mind that she's going to be on parole in 5 years, and I'm sure she's going to get out at that time. Like Brandon did
and she'll
say.
go on a book tour, and she'll have a TED Talk called Amber Geiger, My Story, and she'll make a lot of money from this.
Do you think this is a bad decision then, the jurors to come out and speak, because it seems seemingly backfired?
Yeah,
on this
terrible,
panel, at least, on this
terrible,
panel.
yeah.
All right. Well, more on the impeachment showdown. CNN reports that the whistleblower is a registered Democrat. But does that matter if he's a Democrat or Republican? All right. So here's the deal. We know he's a male. He's a CIA agent. He is attributed or attached to the White House in some degree. The problem with this is I get why people are upset, right? Biases are real. And I understand that people would jump to that because it's a marketing thing that we're all so divisive. But I can give you 3 pieces of information that corroborate this information, even from yesterday on the South Lawn when Trump did it again. So does it matter that he's a Democrat?
I think if we're really going to look into facts like we have been and just look over everything, text messages, emails, whatever we're looking into, we have to look into the fact that his political affiliation will affect his judgment. And the thing that he did is step up, say something that's wrong, which is doesn't matter which way you go. But I think that if he's a Democrat and he has an alternate agenda, we should look into that and just make sure that's not the case.
I do too, but I would think we'd look into the transcripts that the president himself released, and it says right there, will you do me this favor? Yes, I will. And he withheld tax-paying money of congressional approved money because he wanted to shake down the Ukrainian president. It's there in the text messages we got today. Here is the text message from Bill Taylor. Here's what we see here. Ready? This is, I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign. Now, this is the senior diplomat in Ukraine via text message to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, who, by the way, is a Trump contributor. So at some point after this text message, they said, let's get off text message because we know this is bad. So to me, it doesn't matter the parties, but I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only time that this would come up is if we think that these are falsified information.
Right.
If we think that this Democrat falsified this information. So is that, and I don't know what you guys have read. Have you read that people think these are false accusations? Because if everybody's agreed that they're not false, that this was said, that this was spoken about, then now we're just talking about the evidence we have in front of us. If we've all validated.
Well, some people say that they're convoluted allegations because they say that Schiff, who's overseeing this whole thing, maybe had some conversation with the whistleblower beforehand, helping him curate a statement. And if he's Democrat on top of that, then it gets really convoluted, and that's the other side of the argument.
And that's true, but Schiff came out and said that's not true, and that he wrote the lawyer said this whistleblower wrote everything himself.
And when we're talking about, like, when people say, oh, that person's a Democrat, so they have to be this, you're a Republican, so you have to be that. Like, it's not like we're saying, like, this whistleblower, or maybe we need to look into it if he's an AOC type Democrat or the squad type Democrat.
He's a CIA agent.
But I understand that, but at the same time, if you're going to present these facts, and I think that's the only thing we need when it comes to this, there's going to be another storyline to it, Tori.
Yes, I do.
So it's like we need to make sure, and we need to at least investigate it, because when that gets brought up, they can be like, no, he's just a moderate Democrat.
I hope nothing more about the whistleblower gets brought up, because I hope he stays in anonymity for his safety. I really do. All right, I want you guys to watch this incredible dash cam video. A Florida cop pulls over a car for speeding, but the officer discovers the man is actually rushing his pregnant wife to the hospital, and there's no time. So the officer jumps into action. Check out what happens next.
I ran to my patrol car, grabbed some gloves and a sterile blanket from my patrol vehicle. The baby girl had come out, and I checked to make sure that she was breathing and that she was okay. And she squeezed my finger with a nice firm grip.
And here's the officer with the happy new dad, Mazel tov.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
I'm sorry, and Al, I might, you guys gonna look at me a little crazy for this. I'm not impressed.
What?
Will Smith in Men in Black delivered an alien baby on the side of the road that time. You remember that?
We appreciate you saying that, but moving along to actually some breaking news just
congratulations.
in. Yeah, that's a great story.
Congratulations.
It's a good story. I was like, how do I get out of this Men in Black thing? Diahann Carroll, guys, an Oscar-nominated actress and singer, has died. She was 84. She was the first black woman to star in her own TV series as Julia, and she is very well known for her role on Dynasty. And I know that Lindsay's mother
My mom is
was
very
a huge
passionate
fan.
about this. Al talks about how his dad loved her.
Yes.
My mom said, love Diahann Carroll. The love of her life was Sidney Poitier, in case y'all didn't know.
Sydney.
She was in a few of my favorite movies, Claudine, The Five Heartbeats, Carmen Jones, Porgy and Bess, 1959 classic movie, to name a few. She was an icon. She also played Whitley's mom on A Different World.
There you go.
Mom works for IMDb.
Did y'all know all that?
I feel like my mom, Susan, come on the panel. You're welcome on the panel.
I love the Five Heartbeats reference.
Right?
That's
Well, rest in peace to Diahann Carroll. You lived a wonderful life.
84 good years.
Yeah.
That's right. DBL is live. We're coming up. We got a one-on-one with the man behind the voice of Forky, Tony Hale from Toy Story 4. Find out how he brought the lovable character to life in Chatting with the Stars. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. Should cops have to meet certain waistline requirements? One agency's tough rules are being called into question. Your comments coming up next.
Hi there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here, the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now. Any breaking news that comes in with President Trump, I'll of course bring that into you. But let's go to the desk and see what's going on with our host. Hey guys, happy Friday.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
I wouldn't know if anybody Diahann Carroll out there. If you have some more facts that we all should know about this wonderful woman, share them with us online. Because obviously my mom, I can share them with her.
We have some trivia questions for you guys if you want to play.
You know what I would love?
Yeah.
Like Netflix and Hulu, when one of our late great stars pass away, to put their sitcoms and their movies on Netflix and Hulu, streaming for like a couple months and stuff like that.
Put it at the top of the search so everybody can check it out.
Like a RIP type thing, because I've never seen Julia. Now this woman is a pioneer. She's a legend. I want to go back and see it.
I love your lip color, Kelly. I can't get over it.
What, you like what?
Color. It's just beautiful.
Oh, my lip color? It's Khloe Kardashian.
Is it Khloe or Kylie?
It's Kylie, but Khloe's line.
I like it a lot. It reminds me of this color I get from MAC.
It's like my go-to color.
What's the color from MAC? I love
Stone. It's called
I know Stone. Beautiful. So if you guys don't know, in the 90s, I think every person and their mother used Twig or Spice. Do you guys remember Spice lip liner from MAC? And then it's a dark brown, and then you'd cover it with something called Twig, which was a dark brown, and you just look very 90s.
I think I was a little young for that.
Okay, Kelly.
No, I'm serious.
Purple stone color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 90s is back.
If Jeray doesn't say it in the beauty blast, then I'm not listening.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true.
Let's do a poll. What does everybody think about Brandon's brown color suit?
I like his suit.
I like it.
We're going there?
I like it.
I like it.
There?
I was gonna say I like
No, you said you
another
didn't
poll.
like it.
Another poll. Brandon and I look like a House of Benetton ad.
Kind of.
Is that House of Benetton or United Colors of Benetton?
United Colors of Benetton. Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, when we get to hear from you. So the topic is state troopers in Texas are now suing after some were told to slim down. A new policy could lead to the firing of male officers with a waist larger than 40 inches and female officers with a waist exceeding 35, even if they pass their physical fitness tests. So DBL Nation, do you agree with this policy, or is this just straight up discrimination?
All right, Jim from Twitter says, I'm physically fit and weigh 230 pounds and am 6'3" tall. However, my waist is 41 inches due to my large build. It's crazy that this could have me fired. And I agree, they shouldn't discriminate. But I will say, as a former Dunkin' Donuts employee, we used to give out free bagels and donuts and coffee to police officers mandated by the owner. So I think we could, everything in moderation. And we shouldn't be I don't know how those two stories collide.
You contributed to this problem.
You are part of the problem.
Betting. Ty from Facebook says, I agree with this because this is for public safety. If you want to be out of shape, get a desk job like me. Ty, I think their out of shape is a little bit different than your out of shape because, like we said, they have to pass these endurance tests. They have to pass these physical tests. So if it's something to where it's an equipment thing to where their belt with their equipment can't fit around 40 inches and that's going to hinder them from doing their job, I'm okay with it. But there are some people that are a little bit more round or more built than your everyday person that are still more physically fit.
All right. Tony from Twitter says, not all physically fit troopers have the same body type, height, or same genetic makeup. I think this is exactly what you were just saying, Brandon. Look, people are built differently, but I will say this. we wouldn't be talking about this if this wasn't a problem. Somebody's either noticed a problem or they've seen problems in the field, and this is also for their health as well. I mean, if this has been brought up, it's obviously for the protection of the officers and the citizens, so there might be something here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, Doris from Facebook says, I personally think a lot of law officers are a little too heavy. Super honest.
That's
Doris.
honest?
Yeah, I also think about how it can present some serious problems and get in the way of their jobs. So I'll just be super honest. I was like, some jobs you have to have a certain look. Some jobs you have to have a certain body, and sometimes you have to be physically fit. And I don't think that's a problem, because if someone assaulted me and I yelled for a cop and they came, I want that officer to be physically fit to chase that person down.
Well, yeah, let's take that out. Like, what if we were talking about lifeguards? No,
right,
have a problem.
exactly.
But if that lifeguard can hold their breath for a certain amount of time, that lifeguard can swim 100 meters in a certain amount of time, who cares? I come from a football background where you see guys that are 6'6", 340 pounds, still running 4.40.
But do they have
rare
stamina?
exception.
But I'm just saying, like, it's...
We're talking about Division I athletes. We're talking about dudes, and men and women.
Are we talking about dudes? Let us know, guys. All right, we have some sad news here. Another Jersey Shore star is sitting in jail right now. Raquel, what is going on?
Well, Tori, Ronnie Ortiz Magro is being accused of chasing his girlfriend with a knife after a drug binge. It happened just after 2 a.m. in L.A. His girlfriend, Jen Harley, ran out of their rental screaming for help, saying she had been hit. Police say the Jersey Shore star then chased her with a knife while holding their infant daughter. He then locked himself inside a home, and cops had to break the door down, eventually taking him down with a taser. Jen and the baby are okay. Ronnie faces kidnapping charges, and his bail was just set for $100,000.
Wow. So the reason the kidnapping, just so you guys know, is when you shut the door with an infant and lock it and the police can't get to that person, that's considered basically kidnapping. So that causes a huge amount. That's a minimum of at least about 10 years. That's not good.
I don't think he's going to see 10 years, but I think he does need to grow up. I mean, maybe. I mean, it seems like sometimes a massive intervention needs to happen. He's tried rehab, that hasn't worked, and now you're holding
like it's this girl,
your infant girl. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
When you have a baby in your arms and a knife,
it's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Like somebody needs to throw a phone at this point.
You're absolutely right. Well, coming up on DBL, a special friendship that will absolutely warm your heart. See how this Texas high school student gave up her homecoming crown in today's adorable DBL Superstar of the Week. And next, Tony Hale from Veep on DBL. He tells me how the cast reacted to Julia Louis-Dreyfus losing her Emmy in Chatting with the Stars.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. I'm Jeray Banks, and you can find me at Jeray for the Slay on any social media platform. Now, today we're talking some beauty gossip, and recently, Kim Kardashian has released a new line of Spanx. This line of Spanx from her is actually really interesting because we've seen Spanx for quite some time now. You know, I mean the Spanx company, Walmart brand, Target brand, JCPenney's has one. They're kind of everywhere, and everyone knows about body shape wear. Amazon's my favorite place to get mine, but you know, I just know where the deals to go to or whatever. Now, this is a little interesting because Kim Kardashian has always been the body beautiful. Everyone has been trying to get that Kim Kardashian booty, the Kim Kardashian small waist, the face. I mean, everyone wants to be a Kardashian, let's be real here. Even I do. Hey, Kim. So with that being said, it kind of made me think, why is she giving out her secrets to everyone? Like, we all know celebrities wear Spanx, but does she really need to tell everybody, like, you can wear Spanx too? I'm not too sure if I agree with it, because a lot of people are very comfortable in their bodies in general. You know, a lot of people, like myself, also like to make sure that we look nice and smooth for certain events and want to make sure that we look our personal best. So I want your guys' opinion. Do you think Kim Kardashian's Spanx line was a hit? Do you think it's great that she's actually creating the Spanx line? Or did you think that maybe it's already oversaturated and she didn't need to dip her toes in this market? After all, the creator of Spanx is like a millionaire. Like, she ain't going nowhere, girl. So your fancy Spanx, I don't know if I want to buy them. They kind of seem expensive. But you guys give me your take. Do you like it? Do you not? Are you gonna buy them? Or are you gonna go ahead and buy your good old-fashioned Spanx from Walmart? Because we always know that's the most affordable. Now, you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure that you're writing at me at Jeray for the Slay, or just go ahead and write right below, and I'll be sure to answer your questions. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob House. Look how long his arms are.
Trash? No, toys. They're all toys.
Trash.
I never thought I'd be able to relate to a confused plastic spork. No matter how old you are, though, Toy Story 4 is hilarious, and a big reason why is this new toy, Forky, voiced by Tony Hale. I got the pleasure to catch up with the Veep and Arrested Development actor ahead of the movie's DVD release in today's hilarious Chatting with the Stars. Tony Hale, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Were you aware, by the way, Tony, of how many adult fans love Forky? So I wanted to read some tweets to get your reaction. Quote, Forky is the best, the end, the anxiety icon. Or I don't know who is the most relatable. Character Bo Peep, strong and independent. Woody refuses to ask for help. Or Forky, trash.
You know, I was very overwhelmed even to be asked to be in this movie.
Right.
Forky's very overwhelmed. He sees the world very simply. He asks a lot of questions. You know, he's kind of in the middle of his own existential crisis where people are like, hey, Forky, and he's like, here's the deal. I'm a spork, so let's establish that. I don't know why you're calling me Forky.
So he's gender identified with a different cutlery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, you know, I was made to help people eat and go to the trash, so I don't know why you're calling me a toy. Oh, man. But Woody comes along and he's like, listen, you're made for more. You have purpose. You are worthy to be loved and to love. And it's just like, oh, God, who doesn't want to hear that, you know?
I fork and love it. Now, you're a dad to a 13-year-old who says, you say she's embarrassed by everything you do. Would she be more embarrassed by your Mr. Roboto commercial? Or the time when things got revealing on Sex and the City with Kim Cattrall.
She hasn't seen a lot of my work. She hasn't seen Veep, and she won't until she's in her middle age. No, but it was fun to be able to share a Toy Story with her.
That's awesome.
Because she grew up on that franchise, and so it was neat it was cool to have her see her dad in that.
Veep just ended forever. Were you surprised when Julia Louis-Dreyfus didn't win Best Actress in a Comedy, especially because she could have made Emmy history?
I mean, I'm such a huge Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan, so I think she should win everything she goes out for.
You're right. Out of all the roles that you've had, and they're really some of the most well-written comedic roles ever, which one was your favorite, if you had to say?
They're all so different.
Yeah.
I think probably just because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
On Veep, we got really close.
Yeah.
And so I just loved the whole process because it was a real kind of free environment where you were free to like throw out ideas even if they were bad.
Right.
I had the time of my life.
It's like a family situation almost.
Yeah, it really was, and that's what you want.
Thank you so much, Tony Hale. You're amazing.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Such an honor to
Thanks,
talk
Tori.
to you anytime. And bye, brother.
Bye, bye, sister.
Bye. He said, bye, sister. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hi, DBL Nation. It's Raquel here with Leo, and we have a movie review of Joker. And it's a lot to start on this one.
Yeah, for real. This is a serious take, guys. Like, this is not as superhero comic book action-packed as the Marvel movies. This is
it's not at all.
very different.
This is completely deviated. I'm still feeling uncomfortable. The subject matter is serious, realistic, gritty, dark. Think Taxi Driver, which Robert De Niro is actually in this film too. Very
funny
different
enough.
role. I also want to add that Joaquin's Phoenix performance was powerful. It was very good. It's all the hype it's had. It lives up to it. It's well done. The cinematography is great. The style, the plot, it's good, but it's just a lot to take in.
This is not quite a family movie.
No.
If we're gonna go see this one, this is not for the kids. Slight spoiler warning, there is no Batman in this, so there is no real superhero this time.
This is really way too serious of a subject matter. It's really dark.
Yeah, it dives a lot into the mental psyche of this character and also just mental health industry as a whole. And it's just a very serious movie as a whole, I know what I'm saying.
It's really dark. That's the best way I can describe it, is if you want to go see it, you have to mentally prepare yourself. If you're going to go see it with someone, make sure you're both on the same page about what you're going to see, because it's going to be realistic and it might make you feel, to me, when a movie is too close to home as it could happen to my neighbor, it leaves me feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That's how I describe it.
Gritty, it's dark, it's a lot. But would you say go to the theaters to see this, wait for Redbox, or don't see it at all?
I would say if you're not a fan of horror films, because I kind of akin this more to a horror film than I do a drama or psychological thriller. If that's your speed, you should see it. If you are uncomfortable watching that kind of intimate violence, I wouldn't see it at all. I don't think I could ever see it again, to be quite honest.
Be aware of this one, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Welcome back. It's time to honor our DBL Superstar of the Week.
Superstar
of the Week with this heartwarming story out of Texas. I like that graphic a lot. High school student Trinity Arrington decided, well, she wanted to share her homecoming queen title with her friend, Emily Petty. Emily, who was also nominated, has Down syndrome. Trinity said she wanted Emily to have her own shining moment, so she walked over during the ceremony and placed the crown on Emily's head. The two have been friends since they first met, while Trinity spent time in the special education classroom.
That's awesome.
That's the coolest thing ever.
Wow.
I love these stories on Friday. They make me
I know, they make me so good.
I mean, that's how you end it. And I love when you see the videos online when the kids with Down syndrome are able to do things like score touchdowns, come in a game, and play in a basketball, shoot hoops and stuff. Love that. It's great job, Emily.
Everyone has their uphill battles, right? So be good to each other. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here, the DBL Digital Team. Happy birthday, Naomi. We saw it's your birthday. We are wishing you a happy day. Hey guys, I've got a trending story for you right now, and it is a great story. It's coming from our Care 11 sister station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Is that the accent? Is that the accent? Is that it? All right, Minnesota. I was kind of practicing before this. So identical twins, their names are Pat and Paul Young. They actually just had their babies, their wives had their babies on the same exact day, September 19th. So John's gonna pull up the picture for us so you can see them. They were born again on September 19th. They got a text from the other brother saying, hey, my wife's going into labor. And he's like, hey, so is mine. So the one wife actually took, they were in different hospitals because they live in different places, but the one wife actually was in labor for 30 hours. So they thought it wasn't gonna happen. She had already been in labor. So they thought it wasn't gonna happen on the same day. They thought it was gonna be the next day, but it turned out she had her baby just in time on September 19th. So I think this story is so cool. They're identical twins and they had their babies on the same day. It's so cute. I love this story. Anyways, guys, if you see any trending stories in your market, send them our way. And if you have any cool things going on this weekend, let us know what you're doing. As always, we'll chat with the hosts, see what they're doing this weekend. And yeah, we've got a great show coming up, so we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The jurors in the Amber Geiger case are speaking out.
I think that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Hear what they have to say about the 10-year sentence decision. Then, new questions surface about the Trump whistleblower being a Democrat. Does his political party matter? Plus, hilarious video of Taylor Swift while on post-surgery painkillers.
It wasn't the one I wanted.
Find out why she got so emotional over a banana? And our new interview with Veep and Toy Story 4 star Tony Hale.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Well done. Well done.
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
Daily Blast Live happens now. But I have a question. Where am I?
It's set there.
Too good. Welcome to DBL. It is Eric Cobb. Friday.
Yes.
I can't believe it's already October 4th, too, which is crazy bananas. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. So let's start with a quick update on a story we talked about a couple of days ago. It was about this woman who's being called Lion Queen. I think we can come up with a different name. After she climbed over the fence at a lion exhibit at the Bronx Zoo, she was dancing, you remember, waving her arms, taunting the lion. Well, now the NYPD have ID'd her as 32-year-old Maya Autry, and they're asking for the public's help in tracking her down, even though the woman's Instagram clearly shows she's been spotted recently in Times Square posing with members of their local police force. Yeah. It's funny to me that they have not been able to find her yet, considering that she's like trolling online. Not only is she posing with police officers, she posted this picture of Tyson with his tiger and calling him like the king. I love you, king. So like she's trolling people. How have we not been able to find her? And what do you think should happen to her, Erica?
Well, I think whatever happens to people who attempt to poach should probably happen to her as well, because she put that lion's life in danger, to be very honest about it.
Wow, that's a great point.
Yeah, and it's for her own gain. Like, we have to stop the social media craziness, because she endangered her life, a life of an animal, and the lives of possible first responders. So if this is how she wants her 15 minutes, then she can spend it also suffering the consequences.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, it's just like, this is where we are, Jeff. It's just like she was perfectly willing, because whoever goes in that cage, the handlers are the first people to get attacked a lot of times in these cages. So for anybody to have to go in there, should she be under duress, you're right. It's like to find out that somebody's lost a loved one, a mother, a father, a sister, brother, because somebody smoked a joint and jumped over the fence.
Yeah, she was high.
I don't want to old man this, but this is a big deal. It's funny until we're getting somebody.
Look how she's parading on social media. If you look at her shirt, there's leopard print on her MTV memorabilia shirt. So she's clearly choosing her wardrobe to also mock the situation. She loves the fact that everybody's calling her queen. I think we need to come up with a new name, don't you think, Jeff?
Yeah, the Lion Queen?
Yeah.
We should call it a lion treat. Because if she's trying to keep going back in there, no one's going to feel bad for her. You know what I mean? Except for the families that are watching this lady get ripped apart by a wild animal.
The children, you're absolutely right.
So I think we're done with this story.
I agree.
15 minutes, ding.
Out. Beat it, right, Jeff? Beat it. Chime in, though, DBL Nation. Please chime in. Well, a lot of people, including some of you, are still upset. We are as well over Amber Geiger's 10-year prison sentence. They feel like it's way too lenient, given she shot an unarmed black man in his own home. But now some of the jurors are explaining their decision. Check out what one of the white jurors said about it.
I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her. And I didn't feel like I had any right to speak for him. And he isn't there to talk for himself. But listening to how people talked about him, I felt like he would forgive her.
And I want you to hear what one of the black jurors said about her decision.
This case was not like any other case. You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that kill unarmed black men, when they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Geiger, ever since she killed that man, she has not been the same. She showed remorse, and that she's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Erica, you were pissed off when you heard that sentence. You and I were texting one another. You were heartbroken. Those were your exact words. Does this suffice to you?
I can understand why she would feel that way, but I also, because the circumstances are different, this is more a familiar thing than it is a random thing, but it doesn't change what the thing is. And the fact is, there is evidence, concrete evidence, and over a vast period of time, demonstrating that this person had bias against black people. That means that she's no different than anyone else. If she's expressing remorse, she could be expressing remorse for a lot of reasons. Her life is different because she has to pay the price. So I understand it feeling different, but it's not different at all. And I think that given the fact that we know about her intentions, a lot of people will sit and hypothesize about what they would do in anger. But when you actually take that step, and you have to face the consequences, I can understand there being some remorse for that, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's
Erica,
remorse.
I don't know if I can agree with that. I think she did go back to living her life immediately after this. She started sexting with the man that she was cheating with a day after she killed this man. So that juror is like, she can't go back to regular life. She did. Less than 24 hours. Probably the body wasn't even cold in the morgue yet. Literally. It probably wasn't even cold in the morgue, and she's already sending sexual messages to the same guy she was sending sexual messages to before she murdered him.
How distraught are you?
So how distraught?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, now back to me in a bikini. Like, what?
Yeah, it seems to me like her lawyer did a good job of painting a picture of remorse, of I didn't mean to do this, of I'm already handling these consequences on my own. Because just to get the consensus from both those, I know it's only 2 out of the 12, I believe.
But they all agreed.
But they both kind of had a similar story of how she already felt remorseful and she was already paying for this. So it kind of translates over to that 10 years. So again, the lawyer looks like he did a good job. I wasn't in the courtroom, but just hearing that.
Way, but just
they're saying the exact same thing, and they didn't come to those conclusions themselves. That was put
the
into their
text
head.
messages, don't they speak for themselves? But listen, you're supposed to be speaking for Botham Jean. And one juror said, I'm not supposed to speak for him.
She will profit from this. She will come out in 5 years. She'll go on a speaking tour. It'll be called Amber Geiger, My Journey Through Hell or something. And she will be booked all over the place.
I hope not.
She will have a book. You don't think she'll have a book deal?
She better lay low is what she should do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, money talks.
I know. Well, more on the impeachment showdown. CNN reports that the whistleblower is a registered Democrat. But does it matter if he is a Democrat or a Republican? What do you think, Jeff?
I wasn't even listening.
You're still recovering from the last story. I
was thinking about it.
So
I
the
swear I was just thinking
whistleblower
about
is a
that last
registered
story.
Democrat.
Okay, yes,
we know
I
is
remember.
also a CIA agent, very well respected. But do you think that lends to any sort of bias?
Yes, they shouldn't have. This is a whistleblower that we have no information about, that nobody's talking about, but we choose to release this information in where we're at in our world about Republican and Democrat and how divisive they are. This is what we choose to release.
But
why?
I think it only matters if we're questioning the evidence. If we think that this Democrat crafted these screenshots or crafted these phone calls. If we're not questioning the evidence, it doesn't matter to me who presented it. Whether it was the cleaning lady at the White House that found a piece of paper in the trash and presented it, would it matter if she was a Democrat or a Republican? If it's just somebody saying, this is what was sent. Now, if you're saying, what I think on your phone is something that you made up, that's when you would question it. But if everybody's agreeing that this is the evidence, then no matter how you got the evidence, I don't know if it matters.
See, I don't think it does matter, and I think that we're living in a world of false prophets where if scandal taught us nothing, we do not go at the mercy of the president. We are to serve the republic. And this is a very respected CIA agent. I would expect for them to serve at the mercy and at the need of the republic. That's our country. Right. All of these people that are here, like all the players, they will come and they will be gone. But the country has to continue to exist and succeed. So the idea of this whole part, is it a bias?
It shouldn't be.
It's not.
Well, the FEC, who's non-biased, the Federal Election Commission, the chair of the FEC, who was appointed by George W., by the way, just released this statement. Let me make something 100% clear to the American public and anyone running for public office. It is illegal for any person to solicit, accept, or receive anything of value from a foreign national in connection with a U.S. election. So that's coming from the FEC. In my opinion, that says it all.
And I know we got to move on.
We have to. We have one more story.
Oh, let's get it. Okay. I'll talk about it during the break.
Yep. Some breaking news just in. Diahann Carroll, an Oscar-nominated actress and singer, you guys. She has died. She passed away at 84. She was the first Black woman to star in her own TV series as Julia and is well known for her role on Dynasty. Also, I know her work as a breast cancer survivor.
Oh,
she has done so much for making sure that women get free screenings. So yeah, a pioneer in many shapes and forms.
Diahann Carroll is a legend in so many ways. I mean, first of all, Sister did not go anywhere unstamped. She was stamped before stamped was a thing, okay? But she also opened the door for me sitting here. She opened the door for so many of us to be respected, to be considered classy and flawless and beautiful. And I just appreciate her legacy, and may she rest in peace.
What I didn't know about her was, when I was looking at her bio, was her being the first, leading actress that wasn't playing a servant.
Wow, that's a big deal.
And that was her call. Like, that was something that she
said,
championed.
yeah, I want to be my own
important.
person.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, think about what that was like to turn down that role, and because there were no roles.
There weren't.
So like, to turn that down, I'm sure whoever offered it to her must have fell back in their chair like, what do you mean you don't want to be the maid? There's 100 people that want to be this maid, so big deal.
I know, may she rest in peace. Her legacy definitely will continue to live on. DBL's Live coming up. 2 former acting students are suing James Franco, and they want more than money. Why he could be in some serious trouble. Plus, co-host Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with the man behind the voice of Forky, Tony Hale from Toy Story 4. Find out how he brought the lovable character to life in Chatting with the Stars. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should cops have to meet certain waistline requirements? One agency's tough rules are being called into question. Your comments next.
It's time. Hi guys, it's Kelly Schubert here with the DBL Digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news. Let's go to the desk and see what's going on with our hosts.
Recent tweet that they just posted.
Hi guys.
Okay, because apparently
Happy Friday.
was actually supposed to go out to
What's going on?
And it got blocked.
I just realized that it was.
It got blocked.
Much.
So when they tweeted it,
What are we talking about? Let's see.
Yeah, what's going on? Any comments coming in?
Weintraub, she's the chair of the FEC. So she tweeted it because when they put out the bulletin, for some reason, it got blocked.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Isn't that crazy? That's like the new thing that's going on right now. So we're talking about Ellen Weintraub. She's the chair of the FEC, appointed by George W. Bush. And the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, they're supposed to hold everybody accountable. They take it from the Constitution. They take it from the Founding Fathers to make sure that we do not negotiate or hold any sort of value from foreign national countries. So she wanted to really make sure that the American people saw this, so she tweeted it herself. It comes from their official bulletin from the FEC, which was supposed to go out to everybody, but somehow it got blocked.
Well, what I was going to say, Sam, and just you're talking about the CIA agent, is the normalization of attacking our higher institutions of law enforcement.
Yeah.
Inferring that the FBI is corrupt, inferring that the CIA is corrupt.
Is the FEC correct now?
I remember, like, there was a period of time, like, Jeff, if you told me, like, your brother worked for the CIA or the FBI, that's the
tell anybody.
Yeah, right. The 009. But yeah, it's like that was like the biggest deal. It's like those are the best of the
Coveted,
best.
yep.
And now it's like regular citizens are just like questioning the CIA, like, what's his? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, so if we don't trust the FBI, the CIA, so everyone's corrupt. These people that have dedicated their lives, like, literally think about what it takes to become a cop and a state trooper, and then to become an FBI agent, like what that takes.
Thank you.
And then to be questioned about just.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, where we get to hear from you. The topic: state troopers in Texas are suing after some were told to slim down. A new policy could lead to the firing of male officers with a waist larger than 40 inches and female officers with a waistline exceeding 35 inches, even if they pass their physical fitness tests. So DBL Nation, do you agree with this policy, or do you believe it to be discriminatory? Take it away, Erica.
Renisha from Facebook says, I think if more cops were physically fit, they would be less likely to resort to shooting suspects. It's been proven that the size of your waist directly relates to heart disease. That's an interesting theory, Renisha. I just think that it's important for police officers to be able to pass the physical exam and be physically fit. I get really weird about numbers because, as we know, if you look at numbers and guidelines for what's considered obese and not, a lot of us fall into those numbers and we are physically healthy and physically fit. Numbers get very tricky, but if you are unable to serve and do your job to the fullest capacity, then you don't need to be in that job anymore.
Barb from Facebook says the size of your waist doesn't determine if you're in great shape or not. I'm a proud, curvy woman. Even though my waistline is bigger than some other women, I'm still in fantastic shape. Don't judge appearances. I'm with you on this one, Barb. You know, I think all that matters is if you pass the physical part of the exam. They do it twice a year. If you're passing that, that's all that matters. There's guys in NFL that have bigger weights than me that could run 40 yards way faster than me. So, like you said, I wouldn't judge appearances. Some of those guys are bad men.
Yes, this is correct. Jen from Facebook says, personally, I'd like to see a man with a 52-inch waist and full gear run a mile under 10 minutes. I'd like to see myself run a mile under 10 minutes. I think this is a very difficult thing, but I will say this. We wouldn't be talking about this on a national show if this wasn't a problem. If somebody that's overseas that didn't see this as being a problem, whether it's just by eyeballing the officers as they walk in or there have been complaints in the fields. Remember, obviously, we don't want to body shame, but also, will we be having this conversation if these were lifeguards? If these are people that are definitely in charge of your child's life, your life when you're in the water. So it's not about shaming, but it is.
My lifeguard, listen, I swam with people that weren't completely cut like Zac Efron's, and they could swim so fast. I'm talking national titles. So I agree with Eric and Jeff here. Like, I don't think that your body and your waistline actually equates to your level of physicality. I really don't. I've seen it with my swim friends.
Yes, but like that's one, but most of them are cut like Michael Phelps, right?
It depends.
They don't look like me out there rolling out a happy hour.
If you look at the mile swimmers, they're actually a lot bigger bone, the mile swimmers. So it depends as opposed to the sprinters that are 50-yard. So I think to each its own. If you can pass that physical test, I think if you can save someone's life, if you can save someone's life, if you're a lifeguard, that's all that matters in my book. But thank you for writing in. Coming up on DBL, Taylor Swift post-surgery and on some major meds. That's her. You don't want to miss this hilarious viral video. And next, Tony Hale from Veep is on DBL. He tells co-host Tori Schulman how the cast reacted to Julia Louis-Dreyfus losing her Emmy nomination in Chatting with the Stars.
There were a couple interesting stories to me today. I want to talk about the woman who the NYPD is looking for. So I was on her Instagram earlier, and she posted about 3 hours ago from her house, rapping like lyrics to, I guess, an original piece of music that she created. So I feel like if they wanted to find her, you know, the location on Instagram should work, but I don't know. And then the Fifth Host thing about heavy cops, I think there's something to just be noted about wanting your cop to be in shape, but I also don't want to size discriminate and all that stuff. So it's a conversation. Let me know what you guys think. But I also want to know, what are you guys up to this weekend? So I am going to a ball that's for charity, a charity called CASA, and our wonderful Erica Cobb is going to be the MC of that, and I'm really excited. It's a child advocate program that's raising money. So I'm trying to figure out what to wear. My boyfriend wants me to wear a dress. I don't know. I don't have one yet. And it's tomorrow. So I have all day today after I'm done doing this with you guys to figure out. But if you have any suggestions, please type in. I'll read through them in my break and pick something. If you have a color suggestion, anything, I don't know. I don't think I can wear this. It's not dressy enough, but let me know what you think.
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob Harris. Look how long his arms are.
Trash? No, toys. They're all toys.
Trash.
No matter how old you are, Toy Story 4 is hilarious. And a big reason why is because of the new toy Forky, voiced by Tony Hale. Our own Tori Shulman caught up with the Veep actor ahead of the movie's DVD release in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Tony Hale, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Were you aware, by the way, Tony, of how many adult fans love Forky? So I wanted to read some tweets to get your reaction. Quote, Forky is the best, the end, the anxiety icon. Or I don't know who is the most relatable. Character Bo Peep, strong and independent. Woody refuses to ask for help. Or Forky, trash.
You know, I was very overwhelmed even to be asked to be in this movie.
Right.
Forky's very overwhelmed. He sees the world very simply. He asks a lot of questions. You know, he's kind of in the middle of his own existential crisis where people are like, hey, Forky, and he's like, here's the deal. I'm a spork. So let's establish that. I don't know why you're calling me Forky.
So he's gender identified with a different cutlery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, you know, I was made to help people eat and go to the trash, so I don't know why you're calling me a toy.
Oh, man.
But Woody comes along and he's like, listen, you're made for more. You have purpose. You are worthy to be loved and to love. And it's just like, oh, God, who doesn't want to hear that, you know?
I forkin' love it. Now, you're a dad to a 13-year-old who says, you say she's embarrassed by everything you do. Would she be more embarrassed by your
Everything
Mr. Roboto commercial? Or the time when things got revealing on Sex and the City with Kim Cattrall.
She hasn't seen a lot of my work. She hasn't seen Veep, and she won't until she's in her middle age. No, but it was fun to be able to share a Toy Story with her.
That's
awesome. Because she grew up on that franchise, and so it was neat it was cool to have her see her dad in that.
Veep just ended forever. Were you surprised when Julia Louis-Dreyfus didn't win Best Actress in a Comedy, especially because she could have made Emmy history?
I mean, I'm such a huge Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan, so I think she should win everything she goes out for.
You're right. Out of all the roles that you've had, and they're really some of the most well-written comedic roles ever, which one was your favorite, if you had to say?
They're all so different.
Yeah.
I think probably just because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
On Veep, we got really close.
Yeah.
And so I just loved the whole process because it was a real kind of free environment where you were free to like throw out ideas even if they were bad.
Right.
I had the time of my life.
It's like
on
a
that
family situation almost.
Yeah, it really was, and that's what you want.
Thank you so much, Tony Hale. You're amazing.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Such an honor to
Thanks,
talk
Tori.
to you anytime. And bye, brother.
Bye, bye, sister.
Bye.
I love Tony Hale. We'll be right back.
Promotion.
Are we on? Hi guys, welcome back to Digital Breaks. I'm Jeray. It is Friday, so we're all feeling good here in the studio, and we've had an amazing day so far. Covered some pretty awesome stories. Really sad one, including Miss Carroll, Diahann Carroll, who passed away. I think earlier this morning, unfortunately. And if you guys don't know, she was she starred in the series Dynasty, which was actually about a very prestige life, a group of women who lived a very prestige lifestyle here in Denver. So it's really sad to see her that she's passed today. I know she was a huge icon in the LGBT community as well. If you don't know, Dynasty is like everything, and a lot of people are definitely showing her respect, so make sure you guys are paying your respects online as well. Other than that, I know we also have a story coming up about Taylor Swift and her interesting high, so to speak, after getting some LASIK surgery, so we'll be definitely talking about that shortly here. And then Kelly, actually, I know a lot of us are actually getting ready for our CASA event tomorrow, which is with Erica. And CASA is an amazing program. I actually went to this event last year, the Red Wagon Ball, and it is amazing. It really does help a lot of children out there in need of a friendly face or a friendly voice sometimes. So make sure that you guys are also checking out, I forgot the website, I think it's CASA.com.
CASAforchildren.org.
CASAforchildren.org. Now remember, although we are celebrating that here in Denver and we're really going out for that, you can actually donate and help causes in your own city and state too. This is a national platform. So make sure you guys are also checking out how you can help for CASA. They are a really great program that helps so many children in need. Doesn't matter your color, doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter what your situation is. It's just that sometimes kids fall in hard times and it's not their fault. So they shouldn't be put in that fault, or they shouldn't be put into that fault either. Sometimes you just need a helping hand. So make sure you guys check that out and see. Other than that, we have a brand new podcast coming out and I'm featured in it. I actually host The Slay with Jeray. So make sure you guys are also checking that. I got a lot of things for you guys to check out today. But yes, tell us, what are you guys getting up to this weekend? What is your Friday plans? Are you guys going to celebrate with a little happy hour, a little cocktail time? Maybe have a little fire by a fireside tonight because it's starting to get a little chilly here in Denver. Tell us what you're doing this weekend though, and write me at Jeray for The Slay. We'll see you guys soon.
Welcome back to DBL. We've got some comments out.
I got you, Sam. Mary Landry from Facebook says, I don't know, she's talking about the police officer story we just did. I don't know about the measurements, but I think they need to be in good physical shape for their job. Overweight and running put a lot of stress on their bodies and their hearts. So we never thought about the actual officers in this situation. Yeah. So let's just make sure everybody's as healthy as possible. How about that?
I would agree. I do think, though, those physical tests of theirs aren't easy.
I'm sure they're not.
So if they're passing those physical tests twice a year, I think that should stand for something.
I think so.
Yeah. But thank you for writing in. Here's what's coming up next.
Will James Franco's past take him down? Why two former acting students are going after him in court. Plus, Taylor Swift like you've never seen her before.
My mind is alive.
I wonder what she's on. And we are blowing your mind. Outrageous but true facts that will alter your perception of reality and time when DBL comes back.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here with Leo, and we have a movie review of Joker. And it's a lot to start on this one.
Yeah, for real. This is a serious take, guys. Like, this is not as superhero comic book action-packed as the Marvel movies. This is
it's not at all.
Very different.
This is completely deviated. I'm still feeling uncomfortable. The subject matter is serious, realistic, gritty, dark. Think Taxi Driver, which Robert De Niro is actually in this one too. Very
funny
different
enough.
role. I also want to add that Joaquin's Phoenix performance was powerful. It was very good. It's all the hype it's had. It lives up to it. It's well done. The cinematography is great. The style, the plot, it's good, but it's just a lot to take in.
This is not quite a family movie.
No.
If we're gonna go see this one, this is not for the kids. Slight spoiler warning, there is no Batman in this, so there is no real superhero this time.
This is really way too serious of a subject matter. It's really dark.
Yeah, it dives a lot into the mental psyche of this character and also just mental health industry as a whole. And it's just a very serious movie as a whole, as I was saying.
It's really dark. That's the best way I can describe it, is if you want to go see it, you have to mentally prepare yourself. If you're going to go see it with someone, make sure you're both on the same page about what you're going to see, because it's going to be realistic and it might make you feel, to me, when a movie is too close to home as it could happen to my neighbor, it leaves me feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's how I describe it.
Gritty, it's dark, it's a lot. But would you say go to the theaters to see this, wait for Redbox, or don't see it at all?
I would say if you're not a fan of horror films, because I kind of...
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live, so let's get started. Well, two of James Franco's former actor students are suing him. They claim he pressured female students to get naked for auditions, promising them movie roles that sometimes did not pan out. The women are not only suing for money, but they also want their nude audition tapes destroyed. So this acting studio, it is closed now. Studio 4. And these are the same two young women that accused him, remember, back in January of 2018. So the women in this lawsuit are those same women, which his prosecution, his lawyer says they've already debunked it. I guess they're going to have to debunk it again. Yet these two girls are saying, no, this is the facts, and we want our naked audition tape and some damages.
The fact that there are audition tapes out there anywhere, who knows where they are, is really alarming. I don't know. I'm not going to say about this case. I do find it very weird, though, that I watched The Deuce, and it seems weird to me that James Franco would continue, although it's a great role and it's a great show, continue to do that role with two characters, because he plays twin brothers, and there's so many sex scenes that it's hard not to think about this case while you're watching it. It seems just a little weird that he continued.
And you remember those Instagram messages, those you could not argue against. This was about like 5-6 years ago, if you guys want to correct me on the timeline, where those public Instagram messages from underage girls came out, and they were about soliciting sex. And that's not legal nor good either. So he does have a bit of a track record here. Not to say that this is confirmed or not, but I think that's important to note.
Yeah, just to take the other side on this for James Franco, you're taking a class called Master Sex Class. When you take a swimming class, you expect not to get wet? You know what I'm saying? You're going to have sex in a master sex class.
What? I don't think you're really going to have sex in a master sex class for acting. I think. But
they were simulating, so you're going to get naked. You're going to be put on camera. It's just like if you're taking an acting class, they're going to film you to see what you did or didn't do wrong. If you're filming a sex scene, they're going to film you to see what you did or didn't do wrong.
I guess for me, though, no, that makes perfect sense the way you explain it. But for me, being in that world in Hollywood, I never remembered any acting classes, even ones that were specific with intimate scenes, ever requiring that individual
if
to
you
strip
signed
down.
up for a class that was called Master Sex Class, what would you expect to do in that class?
I would hope that it would be completely, I wouldn't sign up for that class.
That's what I'm saying.
But I just hope it's in that, I don't even want to say fine print. I hope it's described, you will be nude, because we are here to perfect your art. I just hope that if that's the case, it's completely legitimately, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Clear.
Right. Well, we brought up a point earlier about the idea that they weren't instructed how to speak to the directors.
Right.
They weren't instructed about how to have their restrictions and say what they're comfortable with the cast and crew. And we have a lot of actors and actresses who come, mostly actresses, who come out and say this was a closed set because they know how to advocate for themselves. These are new actors. They don't understand how to advocate for themselves. And when they're being cast in these roles, they want that knowledge. To me, on the other side of what you're saying, Jeff, a lot of people are thinking, well, is this like when someone's a pedophile is into young kids and they create a program so that they get access to young kids? And that's the other side of that argument. So I think that's why I brought up his role in The Deuce, because it's so hard to forget what he's being accused of when you're watching it.
Yeah, wow. Well, good conversation. Chime in, DBL Nation. This video is so good. Taylor Swift stopped by The Tonight Show. Her mom sent Jimmy a video she took of Taylor right after she got LASIK eye surgery and was all drugged up. Taylor didn't even know that her mom sent it into the show. Watch.
It wasn't the one I wanted. I tried to get this one.
Let me get the other one for you. Okay.
This one, but what do we do with this now?
I'll eat it. I'll eat it. It's mine.
But it doesn't have a head.
Don't fall asleep eating a banana, okay?
I'm not asleep. My mind is alive.
That's hilarious.
I had LASIK eye surgery, like the same thing.
You drugged up like that?
I think, I don't remember, there's no video of it, but I remember like waking up in a closet and I was kind of upset. Like,
whoa.
They just put you like in a, like they just close the door so it's dark. And I was like, I remember saying like, let's get the hell out of here, like kind of causing a fuss. I went home and ate 5 peaches, I don't know why.
Whoa, you were craving peaches.
I was craving peaches and I ate like 5 and I went to bed and I woke up, I'm like, dude, I could see. It was amazing.
Did you have to wear that mask thing that she was wearing?
I did something because you can't have like any sunlight in your eyes. It's like super duper sensitive.
Anybody else have any, like, whether you got your wisdom teeth out, like any drugged up?
Well, I had my wisdom teeth out. Mine is, it's on my Instagram. Al Jackson IG. I recorded a promo for the podcast that Frank and I do. I have no memory of this. Apparently, I was wheeled out. I was hurt. I was all smiles. I don't remember. I kind of remember getting home and just eating a lot of mashed potatoes. But you're really hungry.
It's weird.
But I guess you don't eat before the surgery for 8 hours.
Makes sense.
And then so after the surgery and kind of recover, you probably haven't eaten for a while. So it seems like everybody just wants to eat like a weird food you would never eat. So I took down a whole tub of mashed potatoes.
Go to Al's
no regrets.
Instagram. Al Jackson's Instagram. Hilarious. Well, another Jersey Shore star is sitting in jail right now. Raquel, fill us in.
Well, Sam, Ronnie Ortiz Magro is being accused of chasing his girlfriend with a knife after being on a drug binge. It happened just after 2 a.m. in L.A., and his girlfriend, Jen Harley, ran out of their rental screaming for help, saying she'd been hit. Police say the Jersey Shore star then chased her with a knife while holding their infant daughter. He then locked himself inside the home, and cops had to break down the door, eventually taking him down with a taser. Jen and the baby are okay. Ronnie's facing kidnapping charges, and his bail was set for $100,000.
I mean, what an interesting situation we have with that entire cast, because I think your boy Mike, he changed his life because he saw he was going down a dark path and he was in a dark place for a while. And you see what happens when somebody fights to change their position. He got married. He cleaned himself up. He made sure he didn't put himself in bad positions.
Got sober.
He got sober. Even when he went to jail, he handled it like a man, came out looking better than he did going in. And you see somebody, a grown man, that's still acting like he has not progressed one day since that show went off the air.
I know.
And this is what happens. Everybody, I've had to have this conversation with myself, with my homeboys. It's like, look, we're old dudes now. And this is what you look foolish. You're still on drugs. You're still doing the same things you were doing, except now it's manifested itself. Now you're a full-blown drug addict and an alcoholic.
And criminal.
And you have your baby daughter and a knife in your hand, and the police are kicking down the door. So these are the two paths that every person, man and woman, that partied in their 20s has to make. Do you want to be the guy that's being tasered with your daughter in your hands, or do you want to be Mike? Those are the two options.
Well said. Yeah. Well said. Well, Helen Mirren plays a controversial empress in a new limited series. Ooh, Stephanie Jones, you know I love her. What can we expect?
Oh, yeah. So she's starring in HBO's Catherine the Great as Russia's longest ruling female leader. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Catherine, she had many lovers during her bumpy 30-year reign. So it's no surprise that it would be part of the show. And in episode 3, Helen's character hits the sheets with a much younger man. And there's no word on his age, but she's 74.
First of all, Steph, keep shaking your head, girl.
Oh, yes.
When I watched the snippet of it, she actually rolls her eyes at the performance.
I know. She looks like she's very unimpressed. She's spring chicken. I mean, he's meant to add a bit of spice to her bedroom and bring a bit of happiness. She's all political, but it looks as though he's very disappointed.
I'm sorry, maybe he's taking it easy on her because she's 400.
She's so disappointed.
Wait, you were about to say she's 400?
I'm just talking about
how old did you
pure
say
physicality. He could really hurt her. He's probably being a gentleman.
I think she hurt him, and she was very disappointed with his
Why are you taking her aside? Maybe he was being a gentleman.
A gentleman?
Yes.
He showed up and wasted her time, and you think that wasted her time.
Exactly.
If you're rolling your eyes at the end, it was a waste of time.
It was a waste of
time. Resource you cannot make
all the men in the studio are hating this, and I'm living for it. Go on, Helen, get it, girl.
Yes, me too, Steph. Thank you for sharing that juicy
You guys would be saying this is gross if there's a 70-year-old man and a 20-year-old girl. You guys would be like, ew.
Probably.
Okay, there we go.
He wouldn't have been rolling his eyes.
That's so true. Yes, thank you, Erica Cobb.
How did she get out of it with that?
It's called truth. She's just speaking the truth.
How do you know he would do that? Why everyone's like, yeah, who knows?
He wouldn't be rolling his
Yeah, exactly.
We know because we live here on Earth.
Airbnb is adding animals to their business plan by giving people a chance to hang with some across the globe. You can enjoy a spot of tea with sheep in Scotland. You can even walk Amelia the pig around Ireland. And rock band Kiss will perform for sharks. The group will use underwater speakers to play for them and submerged fans. So when
you can't be
when I first heard this, I was really upset. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exploitative. Guess what? They actually partnered with some of the most stringent animal welfare organizations. And what they did is they got rid of anything that had to do with like taking selfies with dolphins, riding on elephants, anything that was legitimately exploitative. So all these things are actually organized by legitimate sanctuaries, legitimate organizations. So they want to make sure that if anybody's going to do anything travel related with animals, it's no longer going to be the selfie with the dolphin. It's going to be more of these type of experiences that are governed, and monitored and regulated. So I'm actually super for it.
Cool.
Thank God I dug in. Otherwise, my opinion would have been totally different.
Well, see what's happened, Sam? We do research on the show and it changes your opinion. I hope everybody follows your lead. I just, I didn't know. I guess goat yoga's popular. I was in my hometown of Cleveland and I was at my buddy's house.
We did it on the show.
Yeah, I was walking past like a place and it was a tea shop that it was just like there was a kitten room.
Oh yeah, but they all need to be adopted, all those kittens.
Yes, and they were all up for adoption. You could just go have coffee and
I love
cats
those places.
Are all over
Cat
the
and
place.
coffee, and you hope the cats get adopted, and many of them do.
That's cool.
Yep, I love it. I want to go walk
like Jeff's
Amelia the
gonna be there.
pig. I want to walk Amelia the pig.
What purpose is a goat serving yoga? It's just like I did goat yoga. It has no purpose whatsoever.
I think it would make my yoga so much more enjoyable.
It wouldn't.
If a goat
would
was
not.
right here. One time I did yoga in Griffith Park and there was a gopher, and the gopher kept popping up next to me, and they have yellow teeth, by the way. He made my yoga so enjoyable that day. Anyway,
sounds like a real hard workout.
I'm just impressed that you did yoga in the park.
Yeah.
That's
I used
amazing.
to do it all the time. Yeah, but the best day was when the gopher was there with me. All right, coming up on DBL, a touching moment.
Sure that's not a dream you're describing?
Oh.
Did you have LASIK eye surgery?
No, but he has the most yellow teeth on the planet. A touching moment between two friends goes viral. See how a high school homecoming queen set an example for what it means to be kind. And we're going to blow your mind with facts about time. Oh, that rhymes. Don't miss the Friday fun next.
I didn't know I was on camera. Well, you caught that on camera. Me and Joel joke around all the time. And now you know where that went.
Thanks. Do you want one out of there and
No. We went golfing with Joel. Joel's been here for a while, so Joel's my golfing buddy. And we went with Bert's soon-to-be son-in-law.
Right.
And Bert's our boss. And Bert's our boss, right. So you came back for this story? So Bert or Joel was arranging like all the golfing stuff, and you could finish the story.
No,
it's good.
Bert learned my name this weekend. It's pretty much.
So he goes, so we were golfing, and Joel goes, Bert, the only reason he talked to me ever was because I was taking you golfing. He said to Andrew when we were golfing, and then Andrew told Bert, and he told him it was so funny. Though.
Wow.
Because he goes, Bert never talks to me. I just get yelled at. And then he goes, now that I took you golfing, we actually had a conversation.
No more yelling. That's like National Lampoon's Christmas Story when he's like, get in here. He doesn't know his name. He's like,
his own son, right?
Where's watch? Yeah, he calls him every other
Ray, can I get a lip balm with lip color?
Joel
Thank you.
Because we were making a joke with Bert. He's like, when he got home, like with Andrew, he's like, how was golf with Jeff and Jack? Because his name's Joel.
Yeah. And Joel's been a big part of the show too. He did TM Landry with me.
Yeah, he does everything.
Yeah.
He does everything, but we give him a hard time.
Welcome back to DBL. It is Friday, and depending how you perceive time, the week has either flown by or been an agonizing crawl to the finish line.
Wow.
So we're gonna take a look at facts about time that will blow your mind. Yes. First up, Betty White is 6 years older than sliced bread. The beloved actress was born in 1922. Sliced bread first hit shelves in 1928. Isn't that crazy what she's seen? 1922 to now, she has seen it all.
And sliced bread makes a list.
Yes.
I mean, didn't she see like Pearl Harbor and stuff like that? I would think that would be ahead of that. But I mean, it's
way ahead of that. This is 20 years before.
But now it's like, look how we come full circle. Because now, like, really good bread you get, and it's already just in the one loaf. You know,
well, bread has been around for a while.
I know, but now
bread
people get the organic bread from the farmer's market, and it's like
they didn't slice their bread.
Before it was
they probably just ripped it.
Was
it
pre-sliced? No.
Yeah, never pre-sliced. Next up is the moon landing happened 66 years after the Wright brothers' first flight. Wow.
Wow, I thought
that's 66 years after. I didn't realize it was that much after.
But I mean, that's not a long time to go from like barely being able to fly on the planet to go to the moon.
Right.
Only 66 years. That's crazy.
I actually think that seems like a long time.
Really? For technology?
Yeah, 6 decades.
To go to the moon.
Yeah.
We couldn't even make it to Phoenix.
I do. I think so.
All right.
Check out this mind-blowing fact. Cleopatra lived closer to the opening of the first McDonald's than to the construction of the Great Pyramids. Cleopatra died in 30 BC. McDonald's opened its doors as a barbecue restaurant in 1940, and the Great Pyramids date back to 2500 BC.
Are we sure that's Cleopatra?
I was just about to say that. Yeah, that's
that
not
looks
Cleopatra.
like the actress.
Yeah.
That is.
No, that's actually what's her name?
But that is Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Very well known, but Cleopatra.
Known for her Egyptian.
Cleopatra is African American.
Northern African roots.
She's not white.
She's not African American.
I thought she's not African American. She's black. But yeah, she's definitely not white. But we all know that was probably a very well-known role for Elizabeth Taylor. Very well-known role. But does that surprise you guys?
Yes. I had no idea. I thought that was way back then.
Yeah.
I thought it was like around the same time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Up next is
good convo, guys.
Is Will Smith older than Uncle Phil? Well, the show started in 1990. What? James Avery, who played Uncle Phil, was 44, and now Will Smith just celebrated his 51st birthday. So Will Smith older today than who Uncle Phil was.
Right.
Right. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Yeah. But that's just the way we live now too, and it's Will Smith. Will Smith and Jaden could be like brothers.
I know. I know.
Younger.
They look 20.
Yeah.
He looks the same.
Uncle Phil, America's original TV dad, one of them. I mean, there's one, but he's my TV dad. That's the one for me.
I got you.
Honestly, I'm not rewriting history. I wasn't the biggest fan of Cosby. I thought it was kind of boring. I always liked Uncle Phil. I liked his role with Will. It's like a mentor, friend, kind of combative.
I liked when he lost his cool, too, because when he lost his cool, it was still likable, almost like you, Jeff. Like, he had a way of, like, getting frustrated with Carlton and Will. And for some reason, it never came off threatening. And I loved that about him.
I dug it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, coming up on DBL, a special friendship that will warm your heart. See how a Texas high school student gave up her homecoming crown in today's DBL Superstar of the Week. But first, a DBL security alert. Important tips on protecting yourself and your money from mail fraud.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trendy news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. iPhones will soon look a little different. Apple is launching a smaller phone that's just as powerful as the iPhone 11. It's also cheaper, and the phone should be available next year, which makes me happy because have you seen my hands or my face? Holding the iPhone Plus was pretty much like putting a giant laptop to the side of my face. So thank you, Apple. And move over Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel. There's a new talk show host in town, ready to talk to all the A-list stars. It's Elmo. He'll be heading to HBO with the Not Too Late Show with Elmo, and I can't wait. And don't mess with a cat dad. Justin Bieber is firing back at Peta after they issued a statement saying he should adopt a cat instead of getting hybrid Savannah kittens. He says PETA should go focus on real problems. And now that October is here, it's time to talk about Halloween candy. A survey from candystore.com found that Americans hate candy corn, knocking circus peanuts from the top spot. Seriously? Really? Am I the only person out there loving candy corn? DBL Nation, please help me out here. Or just send me all the candy corn that you hate. Thanks in advance. That's it for Fast Blast. See you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. A man from Van Nuys, California was just sentenced to 20 years for scamming the elderly out of $17 million. He used fake deeds and tricked people through the mail to send their monthly payments to him. He actually threatened them with litigation if they did not pay. So we've got some tips to avoid mail fraud. Very important. Write it down. Read the fine print. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure to track your payments. A lot of these scams will disguise their solicitations as invoices, hoping you'll just automatically pay it. Get rid of it, right? Out of sight, out of mind. If anything looks questionable, do your research, do a quick online search. And if a phone number is provided, don't hesitate to give them a call and ask questions. So have any of you ever fallen victim to mail fraud?
Yes.
Knew someone? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What happened?
And Erica, you told a story maybe like last week, and I meant to tell you after the show, I had it happen to me when I was in graduate school. Obviously, we get a stipend, and it was a lot of money for me at the time, because that's how you paid. I would pay my rent 6 months at a time, because you were broke. And for whatever reason, my check wasn't coming, and so I'm calling them saying, like, where's my stipend money? And an envelope showed up that kind of looked like it, and it was for the exact amount that I would get. I think it was like $3,000, and I would take that whole money and just pay my rent for the semester. And I got it, and I cashed it, and I paid my rent, and then all of a sudden, like, I started getting phone calls from this weird company, and they were super unprofessional. They would like curse on the phone, like they would just be like, "Oh, we don't give an F about that.
What?
Just do that." Like, this is how they're talking. They're like, they're my buddies, and I realized they were like a predatory loan company. But before that term was even a term, I had no idea. But this has been going on.
How did you solve it really quick?
I had to ask my mom to pay it off, because my interest rate was ballooning so much. I didn't know what an interest rate was, and I looked, and it was like 23% or something. So it was just like I couldn't get out of the debt, and I had to like ask for help.
Jeez. Yikes.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
And to protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730.
I want to like tap on the screen.
Right, like,
be like
knock, knock, knock. Hey, who's there? What's going on? Hi, Tori.
Did you find
come on
Moe's?
in.
I need an update.
So there's something embarrassing I have to say. It was lunchtime, and I wanted to go alone because I'm learning to flirt and date with myself.
Oh,
really
I
quick.
like that.
Anyway, I had
like
never
that
been
a
to
lot.
Moe's. It's like 2 blocks away. I went and I had some lunch by myself.
Oh, there you go. Sometimes you need a little me time.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, DBL Nation, what's going on? So we've got a breaking story here, Raquel.
It's all about the Joker. Leo has the numbers for you.
So, guys, Joker has actually had a pretty big opening for Thursday night. It actually broke the October record, which Venom previously held. So it hit $13.3 million on its opening night. Now, this is also above movies like Deadpool, which is R-rated as well, It Chapter 2, his another Todd Phillips movie, actually, Hangover 2, which only made $10.4 million, and Logan. Like, it really stacked up against all of those movies.
It all has to do with the hype around it, as people being protective of it?
Absolutely.
Like when you're told not to do something, you want to do it more?
Yes, and I think it has a lot to do with the news that's surrounding it. The critics were pretty divisive about this movie. Not just that, too. You know, there's a big comic book movie community out there right now, and and I think they, think this is gonna kind of fit in with the whole Batman Avengers stuff.
There's already been a credible threat that they had to shut down the theaters in Huntington Beach, California.
That's interesting. And good thing they're being safe about this.
Yeah, there's the FBI saying they are receiving tips of people that might act out. So it's just something to keep in mind. I just want to give people a heads up on that.
I'm glad they're taking extra precaution with this one because it is a pretty violent movie. I mean, it's gritty, it's dark, it's pretty serious. It dives into the mental psyche of the Joker, so it's very, very serious. And I'm glad they're taking it seriously. I'm glad they're not showing it at the Aurora Theater. Great call on the studio and on the Aurora Theater that decided to reach out. Great call because this is a serious movie and it does have a lot of violence in it.
I mean, is it one you'd want to see again? I know you thought it was good.
Yes, I do want to see it again, but I do want to wait a little bit. I don't want to see it again like right now or race to the movie theater to see it again this weekend. Yeah, it's a little much. It's dark, it's gritty. It takes a specific mindset of being in to watch it. But it does have some crazy messages in it, and this is a movie that we haven't really seen in this genre before. It's a villain movie. So there's no heroes, there's no Batman, there's no Superman, nothing. It's just a villain. Think a yin without a yang or vice versa. There's just nothing to balance this out.
Basically, it's just a murderer.
Yeah.
All right, let us know what you think, DBL Nation. Are you going to see Joker this weekend?
Let us know.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Welcome back. It is time to honor our DBL Superstar of the Week with this heartwarming story out of Texas. High school student Trinity Arrington decided she wanted to share her homecoming queen title with her friend Emily Petty. Emily, who was also nominated, has Down syndrome. Trinity said she wanted Emily to have her own shining moment, so she walked over during the ceremony, placed the crown on Emily's head. The two have been friends since they first met, while Trinity spent time in the special education classroom. Oh, that's beautiful.
That's
I
awesome.
love stories like this.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's a moment that neither one of them forget. Well done on both their parts.
And I also think that it sets a precedent to that school and other schools. Just to pay it forward, to be kind, to be inclusive.
Stop highlighting mean girls and highlight girls like that.
Yes, love that. Great message for the weekend. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place. Enjoy, everybody. Bye.
Kelly Schubert here, the DBL Digital Team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news for you right now, and I've actually got a trending story that's popping up everywhere that I think some of you might be interested. I know a lot of you watch Fixer Upper on HGTV. I watch the reruns now. I bet you do too. If you like Chip and Joanna Gaines, I've got some news for you. They've got a new project they're working on. So if you've ever dreamed of going to the silos at Magnolia, there in Waco, Texas, they've now got a hotel they're building that you can stay at. So they're renovating a nearly 100-year-old building, and I think Leo's going to bring the picture up for you if he hasn't already. This is what it's going to look like. This is the rendering of it. It's actually an old county building. They're going to turn it into a hotel, so you can not only go to Waco to stay at their awesome hotel. I mean, think about how amazingly decorated it's going to be. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to go try to stay there at some point. I wonder how pricey it's going to be, though, because it looks like it's not going to be a huge hotel. I mean, Waco is not huge itself, but they've gotten a lot of tourism just from the Magnolia, the Gaines family alone with all their Magnolia stuff. So let me know what you think. Do you like this show? Are you interested in staying at the hotel? If you are interested, it will be open in 2021. Joanna said she'll keep us updated on all the plans as they go along, and then once you can start booking, it'll let us know. She'll let us know. So I'll keep you guys updated if you're interested. Also, we've got a great show coming up this Friday on Daily Blast Live, so make sure you stay tuned and give us your DBL take on all the stories, especially our fifth host. All right, guys, it's coming up for you. See you soon. Bye.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The jurors in the Amber Geiger case are speaking out.
I think that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Hear what they have to say about the 10-year sentence decision. Then, new questions surface about the Trump whistleblower being a Democrat. Does his political party matter? Plus, hilarious video of Taylor Swift while on post-surgery painkillers.
It wasn't the one I wanted.
Find out why she got so emotional over a banana? And our new interview with Veep and Toy Story 4 star Tony Hale.
I'm so excited.
Yes. Well done. Well done.
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
Daily Blast Live happens now. But I have a question. Where am I?
Oh, it's so good. Welcome to DBL. It is Friday, October 4th. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al. I am Sam. Let's dive right into it. Well, let's start with a quick update on a story we talked about a couple days ago. It was about this woman who's being called Lion Queen. I suggest we change her name after she climbed over the fence at a lion exhibit at the Bronx Zoo. She was dancing, waving her arms, taunting the lion, if you remember. Well, now the NYPD have ID'd her as 32-year-old Maya Autry, and they're asking for the public's help in tracking her down. Even though the woman's Instagram clearly shows she's been spotted recently in Times Square posing with members of the police force, clearly trolling everybody. If you look at her MTV shirt, it's leopard print. If you look at the post with Mike Tyson that she posted, she calls him a king. He's with his tiger. So she's trolling everybody, doing this all for likes, and that's what pisses me off.
Well, guess what? Even before she went in the zoo, she smoked something, I don't know what it was, right outside the zoo.
It wasn't a cigar.
It was not a cigar, and said, I'm going to go mess with the MF'er Mother Earth. So this was all a plan. All of this was a plan. She was ready to go.
So why are we calling her a queen?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Who's calling her a queen? Herself?
No. That's the tabloids are all calling her the Lion Queen.
You know, I'm on my comedian group chat right now, and I just got some pictures of her. She does not look well. I'll just leave it at that. She looks like a person that is having a break, and I think that this is, again, when we need to start talking about mental health. Stop highlighting it, stop giving people nicknames and making it funny, and look like this is a woman that's in a lion enclosure.
Yeah, this isn't Lion Queen right now.
Yeah, this is not, and really doesn't really seem to be trying to like turn to the camera to get her face on there.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
She's literally trying to connect with the lion, and that kind of shows you. It's just like when people jump on train tracks.
What should happen to her, Jeff?
Well, first of all, we should stop showing her video. That's number one. I don't think her video should be shown anymore because it could have went very differently. That lion could have mauled her, and she would have been. You think we would have been joking around and been calling her lion treat? Ha ha ha! My son just saw a woman get mauled at the zoo.
Yeah, talk about PTSD.
That's not funny.
Right.
Yeah, that's not funny. So,
and then the lion loses its life.
Yeah, we should definitely. I hope this woman does not keep rising from this and try to do this again. But like Al said, I hope she gets some help because this is serious.
We should have an evaluation. Just an evaluation.
Well, the police are looking for her. The police are looking. Well, a lot of people, including some of you, us as well, are still upset over Amber Geiger's 10-year prison sentence. They feel like it's way too lenient, given she shot an unarmed black man in his own home. But now some of the jurors are explaining their decision. Check out what one of the white jurors said about it.
I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her. And I didn't feel like I had any right to speak for him. And he isn't there to talk for himself. But listening to how people talked about him, I felt like he would forgive her.
And I want you to hear what one of the black jurors said about her decision.
This case was not like any other case. You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that kill unarmed black men, when they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Geiger, ever since she killed that man, she has not been the same. She showed remorse and that she's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
You think she showed remorse?
I think we saw that she didn't show remorse. She went 2 days after she had murdered a man that was sitting in his home. She went back to sexting and sending illicit messages and photos to the person that had her so distracted that she shot the man in the first place. So to the African American young woman, that negates her point. And to the white juror who says his family said he seemed like the kind of person that would want to be forgiven. It's like he's not here because he's dead, and no matter how nice he was presented in court, I don't know if anybody's that cool to be like, you killed me, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, stop. What are we talking about?
Also, the gentleman, the white gentleman, said it's not our job to speak for him. That is
your job.
only
Right.
job
As a juror.
You speak for the dead because he can't anyway. So at some point, I think this backfired pretty badly because on all the people I've talked to, all my friends on all the feed, that it makes them even more angry.
I don't think it backfired for the defense attorney. I think he did a fantastic job of painting a picture for these people.
And pounding a message.
And pounding a message that, hey, look how forgiving he is.
And it works.
Look at his brother, how forgiving he is. He's the exact mirror of that. And she's already served her time in her mind. And so, I mean, to me, that's exactly what I wasn't in the courtroom, but to me, that's what it looked like.
What a crazy defense that is, Sammy. He was such a nice guy that he would want her to get off, and it worked.
I know, but you know what I love about it is, given the fact that her text messages were so racist and malicious and hateful, for her to sit there and see the love and the forgiveness from this family that she clearly has disdain for because of the color of their skin, I don't think you could allow to eat someone up more than that, because they are the epitome of the example of what any human being should be. And I think that must have shocked her, and I think that must have pissed her off more than anything else, even though she right there is getting the benefit.
Seems like a very
benefit of their kindness.
She seems like an empty vessel.
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
seem like there's
they
anything in there, but
proved her
what can this do for me? This guy's married, but I want him, so I'll take him.
Yeah.
I shot this guy. Her first call was not to the 911.
She'll be in jail. Should be a lot longer than 10 years, but I'm looking forward to her being behind bars. Well, I want you all to watch this crazy dash cam video. A Florida cop pulls over a car for speeding, but the officer discovers the man is rushing because his pregnant wife needs to get to the hospital. There's no time, so the officer jumps into action. Check out what happens next.
I ran to my patrol car, grabbed some gloves and a sterile blanket from my patrol vehicle. The baby girl had come out, and I checked to make sure that she was breathing and that she was okay. And she squeezed my finger with a nice firm grip.
Oh, and here's the officer with the happy new dad. This is just amazing. I love this.
Isn't that incredible?
Because you know how fearful she must have been and vulnerable in the back seat, and to have a confident, calm, cool, collected, authoritative police officer come in there and just be there.
Right.
Like, you need that. You need that in that hospital room, whether it be the doctor, whether it be Jeff, whether it be Mark, whether it be Alec. You need to have somebody that is confident and cool, and that is just amazing.
I have one question about this, and this is just for anybody that's got, in your case, Sam, I wonder, in their situation, is it better to call the ambulance if you don't think you can make it to the hospital and have them come deliver the baby at home? Or are you like, to Jordan, I think we can make it? Because it didn't look like he was close to the hospital. So, like, what's the call on that?
I think your second baby's a lot different than your first. Your first, I didn't even know what transitioning meant. That one's when you go to 6 centimeters to 7 to 8 to 9, right? So I remember when all of a sudden I collapsed, that's when I was transitioning.
Oh.
And so it can be like that. At that point, I just got into the hospital because I did want to do most of my laboring at home. But yeah, that transitioning phase can go like that. Second baby, I'll be a little bit more cognizant. Did you notice a lot more in the second?
Well, the first one was a C-section.
Right.
So, and then the second one was induced. So there was no, like,
panic.
Those movies where you pack the suitcase and you're in a frantic in your underwear.
It looked like that was that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know?
I don't think anyone knows exactly, unless you're a professional, how long it takes.
I don't think you do.
I would be like, do you think you could hold it? And Jordan would probably be like, yeah. I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah, I think you
I think
would.
that's what happens.
And I think you can go from 7 centimeters to 10 centimeters like that.
Yeah, you can't hold it.
Or it could take 20 hours.
Right.
You can't hold it, yeah.
I don't think you have control over that.
No.
When the baby's coming, he's coming wild.
That is such a cool story, though. Well, some breaking news just in. Diahann Carroll, an Oscar-nominated actress and singer, has died. She was 84. She was the first black woman to star in her own TV series as Julia and is well known for her role on Dynasty. Clearly a pioneer. And I love, too, is, you know, she's the first African-American woman to take a role that was not a servant. She said, I'm done with this. I want to be someone that is an actual individual, well-crafted, created character. Like, enough enough of African-American actors always playing servants. So she completely changed that.
Yeah, she pioneered, and now we see the benefits of that, but also just like what an amazingly beautiful.
I know.
She's just stunning.
And just, I knew her because of my dad.
Yeah, she's
like,
just a
God rest his soul. My dad used to call her a fox.
Yeah.
That's what old black man used to call her. She's a knockout or a fox. She's a fox.
And you're wearing pink. She did a lot for breast cancer. She was a survivor. She's the reason why many women can get free screenings today.
Wow.
So her advocacy, her legacy lives on.
And just to turn down that role, think about how many people would have killed for that role. That was the only role.
Yeah.
And so for her to walk into somebody's office and then like, you got the role, and she's like, I don't want it.
That's when you believe that much in yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Talking about kicking in the door for the
back in that time.
It was just
Think
like,
about the pushback she got. Yeah.
Shock.
I know. So may she rest in peace. Our thoughts and prayers with her family. But man,
what a 84
life.
years. Well done.
What a life.
We salute you.
Yes, we do. DBL's Live coming up. 2 former acting students are suing James Franco, and they want more than money. Why he could be in some serious trouble. Plus, co-host Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with the man behind the voice of Forky, Tony Hale from Toy Story 4. Find out how he brought the lovable character to life in Chatting with the Stars. And you are our 5th host. Should cops have to meet certain waistline requirements? One agency's tough rules are being called into question. Your comments next.
Hey there, DBL Nation. Kelly Schubert here, the DBL Digital Team. Happy Friday. We're happy to have you here with us today. Let's go to the desk and see what our hosts are chatting about.
My friend, don't worry.
Guys, what's happening?
This is natural, my friend. Take it.
He's trying to make it better.
He's trying to come. He's like, I'm going fast. My friend, take as much time as you need. Don't worry about it. So I just watched this video. I got to look it up. This Uber driver was driving, and this couple was going to the hospital in the Uber, and the lady just started having a baby in the back seat. And the guy, I'm not trying to be racist by doing his accent, because I don't even know if I could do an accent anymore. I'll just make sure.
You're regurgitating the video.
I'll just put him in American guy. Well, you don't know what you could say. I don't even know what I could say or can't say. So the guy's like, don't worry about it. He's like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Keep going. Don't worry about anything. I got it. I'm going to get you guys to the hospital. And the baby starts coming. He's like, this is beautiful. This is natural. And then like they're holding the baby. He goes, my friend, just one thing. Just pay the cleaning fee. That's all. And the guy goes, I don't have any money. He goes, I'm broke. And so he's like, my friend, you can't pay the cleaning? Like, and he just wanted the cleaning. And he's like, it's beautiful. And the guy's like, I'm broke, man. And he's like, he's holding a baby. His wife is like freaking out. He's like, I can't pay him. Like, oh my God.
That cleaning fees, everything. Yeah, I had
so cute.
coming back from Dallas, I had a long conversation with the Uber driver about the cleaning fee. Because he's like,
It's like what, $125?
he said in Dallas the cap
in someone's car.
In LA it's $350, but he said in Texas it's $200. You
got to make payments if you have to.
He was like on days like St. Patrick's Day. He was like, people might have there might be 2 accidents.
You gotta pay the cleaning fee. If you throw up, if you have a baby,
if you do anything,
you got to bring a payment plan.
It's not fair.
For to have an Uber driver that like calm and be like, it's beautiful.
Cheaper than the hospital.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, that he stayed so calm.
Yeah. So anyways, look up the video. I was just telling the story, and then you guys came. Hello.
That's so crazy.
That's one of those things you just never know.
Hello.
Yeah, I wouldn't know like let's go or let's stay. You know, because
I don't think anyone knows.
Too.
That's why you think you could make it,
right?
And then you don't. You know, I think that's how that happens.
Or you wait a long time. Yeah, like my sister's about to have her baby any day, and she's like, we'll just wait. We'll go see a movie, and then we'll go to the hospital.
I waited.
What?
No, I did most of my laboring at
crazy.
home, and then when I got to the hospital, I was 6 centimeters, so I was transitioning. And then
that seems crazy.
Can you tell people what transitioning means?
So transitioning is like, so you're going from like labor to hard labor. So you go 6 centimeters, 7, 8, 9, 10 is like, all right, it's happening. It's happening.
It's like Drake 0 to.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for 5th Host, where we get to hear from you. The topic? Well, state troopers in Texas are suing after some were told to slim down. A new policy could lead to the firing of male officers with a waist larger than 40 inches and female officers with a waist exceeding 35, even if they pass their physical fitness test. So, DBL Nation, do you agree with this policy, or do you think it's discriminatory? Take it away, Tori.
All right. Jennifer from Facebook says, call me crazy, but I'd rather have an honest, overweight police officer on the streets than a shady thin guy.
Totally.
See, I get that. Here's the deal. I'm going to sound really mean here, but there's certain jobs like lifeguards, firefighters, police officers that I believe need to be in a certain amount of shape. I get that they do the fitness test, but if I'm assaulted and I call a cop, I want that cop to have some stamina and to really be able to take after them. I think there should be exceptions to this rule, but I don't have a hard time with like a belt rule of if you can fit this equipment, that's the limit. Because I think at some point it's okay for a job to call for that.
I don't know. I had swimmer friends, especially ones that swam the mile, which is all stamina, that were pretty large. And they were some of the fastest swimmers in the world. So I don't think you have to have like a Zac Efron body to have stamina, in my opinion.
I don't want a Zac Efron body, but I guess I think there's an issue here at this county because they're obviously putting.
You don't want Zac Efron's legs.
Okay.
Yeah, you always have an issue with his legs.
Zac Efron is a beautiful specimen.
So am I. I work my legs out too on Wednesdays.
Dwight from Facebook says, I'm an officer myself, and I not only do fat. Well, sorry.
Outdo maybe?
And
no,
not only do fat officers look bad in their uniforms, they look even more ridiculous when they have to chase suspects down and are often missing in action when you need backup. I think every department should adopt this. First of all, Dwight, salute to the boys in blue. Here's my thing. There's a lot of defensive linemen in college football, NFL, that have a bigger waist and that are faster than I am. You know what I mean? So I don't think you could judge a book by its cover. If you're passing that physical test, I think you're fine. Maybe they just need to adjust that physical test a little bit more.
Tougher?
Make it a little bit tougher.
But do those guys, and I don't know this, don't they go for sprints? Like, I want a police officer to be able to run out a call. You know what I mean? I want for there to be.
I'm not sure what that means.
Like I want them to have some energy. I think.
But some people are really
4 yards, and
but some people are really fast, but they have trouble getting rid of like the spare tire, so to speak.
Well, that's the problem, Sam. That's what we're talking about.
I know, but you can still be a fast runner and have a little bit of a time.
But it's rare. We're bringing up the Hall of Fame defensive linemen. Most people that are overweight can't chase people down.
Why are they passing their physical test?
Exactly.
Because I don't know about that. I worry about that physical.
Because
well, then maybe amp that up.
You don't see firefighters like that. No disrespect, but firefighters, they have to carry that sack up the steps.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So okay, really quickly, Josh from Facebook says they should be judged on their physical fitness test, like Jeff says, not their size. I agree. If they're passing the test now, then they should be good to go. If they decide to change the test, then they should be able to pass that. So, agree with Jeff.
I had the same points as Jeff. So you agree with Sam and Jeff?
I agree with Sam and Jeff.
Thank you.
Wow, forced him into a compliment.
Yeah, you really
Al,
did.
tell me I look
bully
good
me
today.
into that one.
Not at all. It's
Al,
just
do
a
I
fact.
look good today? Tell
Jeff,
me
you look great.
You're damn right I do.
Sam, I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
It was just a fact. Coming up on DBL, Taylor Swift post-surgery. Look at her. And on some major meds. You don't want to miss this hilarious viral video. And next, Tony Hale from Veep is on DBL. He tells co-host Tori Shulman how the cast reacted to Julia Louis-Dreyfus losing her Emmy nom in Chatting with the Stars.
Sandro agreed with me on something, and that is a first, and that is a loyal viewer, and I want to just say thank you. I want to give I want to play some trivia for you guys. Let's see. Hey Rob, you want to play trivia with us?
Yeah.
All right, come on,
Rob.
I'm not that quick on the draw. You were really good yesterday. Who was the legendary Benedictine monk who invented champagne? This is such a
I don't know. Better. Should I know this one?
Yeah, kind of, and I didn't think of it either, though. But then you're like, oh. Like, where do you go when you want Cristal and champagne? What kind of really fancy?
Caviar?
Dom Perignon. Okay, that was real good. Okay. Where would you find the Sea of Tranquility?
The Mediterranean?
What do you say?
Sure.
The moon.
Oh! Is that closer to the Mediterranean?
No, that's good. Name the seventh planet from the sun. The first? That's
It's one of the gas giants, so it's got to be...
You're saying it right, buddy. It's got to be what?
Jupiter. Saturn.
It's gases. It's Uranus. Who invented the rabies vaccine? I didn't know this.
The guy that invented pasteurization?
Yes!
Yes.
Wow. Oh, Francoeur?
Louis Pasteur.
Louis Pasteur, where we got pasteurized, which I also didn't know. Okay.
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob Harris. Look how long his arms are.
Trash? No, toys. They're all toys.
Trash.
I never thought I'd be able to relate to a confused plastic spork. No matter how old you are, though, Toy Story 4 is hilarious, and a big reason why is this new toy, Forky, voiced by Tony Hale. I got the pleasure to catch up with the Veep and Arrested Development actor ahead of the movie's DVD release in today's hilarious Chatting with the Stars. Tony Hale, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Were you aware, by the way, Tony, of how many adult fans love Forky? So I wanted to read some tweets to get your reaction. Quote, Forky is the best, the end, the anxiety icon. Or I don't know who is the most relatable. Character Bo Peep, strong and independent. Woody refuses to ask for help. Or Forky, trash.
You know, I was very overwhelmed even to be asked to be in this movie.
Right.
Forky's very overwhelmed. He sees the world very simply. He asks a lot of questions. You know, he's kind of in the middle of his own existential crisis where people are like, hey, Forky, and he's like, here's the deal. I'm a spork, so let's establish that. I don't know why you're calling me Forky.
So he's gender identified with a different cutlery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, you know, I was made to help people eat and go to the trash, so I don't know why you're calling me a toy.
Oh, man.
But Woody comes along and he's like, listen, you're made for more. You have purpose. You are worthy to be loved and to love. And it's just like, oh, God, who doesn't want to hear that, you know?
I fork and love it. Now, you're a dad to a 13-year-old who you say she's embarrassed by everything you do. Would she be more embarrassed by your
Everything
Mr. Roboto commercial? Or the time when things got revealing on Sex and the City with Kim Cattrall.
She hasn't seen a lot of my work. She hasn't seen Veep, and she won't until she's in her middle age. No, but it was fun to be able to share a Toy Story with her.
That's
awesome. Because she grew up on that franchise, and so it was neat it was cool to have her see her dad in that.
Veep just ended forever. Were you surprised when Julia Louis-Dreyfus didn't win Best Actress in a Comedy, especially because she could have made Emmy history?
I mean, I'm such a huge Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan, so I think she should win everything she goes out for.
You're right. Out of all the roles that you've had, and they're really some of the most well-written comedic roles ever, which one was your favorite, if you had to say?
They're all so different.
Yeah.
I think probably just because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
On Veep, we got really close.
Yeah.
And so I just loved the whole process because it was a real kind of free environment where you were free to like throw out ideas even if they were bad.
Right.
I had the time of my life.
It's like
on
a
that
family situation almost.
Yeah, it really was, and that's what you want.
Thank you so much, Tony Hale. You're amazing.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Such an honor to
Thanks,
talk
Tori.
to you anytime. And bye, brother.
Bye, sister.
Bye. He said bye, sister. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
You guys know I'm trying to get a candid selfie, and this is how long it's taken, like a full break. Kelly is on it, if you can see Kelly. Look down? Okay. Travis is telling me to look down because that's more Instagram.
That looks stupid.
I can't do it. So if you guys have any ideas for selfies, let me know. We're gonna go back to the trivia. Someone got Dom Perignon correct, so I wanted to give someone a shout out. That was Jason Anderson. All right, you want to play some trivia there, Jeff?
Sure.
Name the world's biggest island.
Australia?
Greenland. Wait, let me answer. Greenland.
It is Greenland. Why wouldn't it be Australia?
Greenland's bigger.
It's a
That's a
continent.
good point. That's the most embarrassing part of my day. Name the world's largest ocean.
Oh, the Pacific.
Correct.
Ooh,
What is the capital city of Spain?
Madrid.
Correct.
Yeah.
Name what is the oldest film ever? Well, no one knows that. Nobody.
Citizen Kane.
No, that's not at all.
That's what you would guess, because that's what I was thinking too.
Okay. What item of clothes? Oh, I don't know. What kind of weapon is a falchion?
A falchion, a shield.
Sword.
It's a sword. That was really
I
good.
blocked it with my falchion.
Which word goes before vest, beans, and quartet?
Black?
String. But what's a
That
string
could've been-
vest?
String? Bad.
Maybe before.
What were the three words?
String your vest.
Okay, I took like 100.
Oh, thanks. Beans, vest, beans, and quartet.
Because you have a black quartet?
Yeah.
Black beans, black vest?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, yeah, black also works. And what is another? Oh, well, we already asked him that one. Okay. What is the world's longest river?
The Nile.
Amazon.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is the only.
You know what's even bigger than the Amazon?
What?
They call it the Cloud River above the Amazon.
Oh, yeah,
Because it collects so much moisture in the air that the trees actually get more moisture from the not even rain, just like the fog river above the Amazon, that it actually rains on the trees and gives moisture on the trees than actual rain.
Sam, we know less now.
Well, I know it's above your head.
You're about to erase grad school.
No, I know it's above your
I got it.
head.
It's a cloud formation above the thing.
It's
above
not even cloud.
Cloud from.
It's not even
You got it
cloud.
wrong, so you
It's
don't know.
literally a river
of rain?
of fog. No, it's
Oh,
the
fog.
thickest amount of fog in the world that they say has more water than the Amazon River.
30 seconds. Blowing my mind.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, comment?
Yes, we do. Actually, Sandro, for the first time, agreed with me, which is a very strange thing. Sandro said he agreed he'd rather have a fit police cop as well. I'd rather have a fit officer, someone that could actually run after the criminal, than someone that could take down the criminal. A heavy person would have a very hard time doing that.
Your size doesn't equate to athleticism.
I agree.
You don't think?
No,
I know what you're. Yes, if you just see a fat guy who eats donuts, yes, not that guy. But there are bigger guys that are in better shape than I am.
And I think that's their point.
And I don't think you would know it. Like, again, if you were to put Jeff standing next to like some of these world-ranked swimmers that I used to know, you would probably think Jeff could outrun them, could outswim them, and then lo and behold, they would outswim Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water moccasin?
Let's not get crazy.
The water moccasin.
Remember when he called himself that?
He is the water moccasin.
No, he's not.
Here's what's
Yes, I
coming
am.
up next.
Starfish.
So I think I changed that.
Will James Franco's past take him down? Why two former acting students are going after him in court. Plus, Taylor Swift like you've never seen her before.
My mind is alive.
I wonder what she's on. And we are blowing your mind. Outrageous but true facts that will alter your perception of reality and time when DBL comes back.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trendy news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. iPhones will soon look a little different. Apple is launching a smaller phone that's just as powerful as the iPhone 11. It's also cheaper, and the phone should be available next year, which makes me happy because have you seen my hands or my face? Holding the iPhone Plus was pretty much like putting a giant laptop to the side of my face. So thank you, Apple. And move over Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel. There's a new talk show host in town, ready to talk to all the A-list stars. It's Elmo. He'll be heading to HBO with the Not Too Late Show with Elmo, and I can't wait. And don't mess with a cat dad. Justin Bieber is firing back at Peta after they issued a statement saying he should adopt a cat instead of getting hybrid savanna kittens. He says PETA should go focus on real problems. And now that October is here, it's time to talk about Halloween candy. A survey from candystore.com found that Americans hate candy corn, knocking circus peanuts from the top spot. Seriously? Really? Am I the only person out there loving candy corn? DBL Nation, please help me out here. Or just send me all the candy corn that you hate. Thanks in advance. That's it for Fast Blast. See you next time.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Come on now. 3, 2. Well, welcome to DBL. We are live. Let's get started. Well, 2 of James Franco's former acting students are suing him. They claim he pressured female students to get naked for auditions, promising them movie roles that sometimes did not pan out. The women are not only suing for money, but they also want their nude audition tapes destroyed.
This is pretty bad. So I did some research on this, and it just gets worse and worse. So anyone who wouldn't get undressed, he wouldn't put in the class, and anyone who would get undressed and got in the class would then be casted.
Well, this is according to these 2 women.
Yes,
who are
and
also
TMZ is saying these 2 women allegedly.
But these are the same 2 women, and again, I'm not discrediting them at all. But these are the same 2 women that went after him in 2017, 2018 with the same claims that his prosecution debunked. At least they claim they provided enough evidence to debunk it. And now they're coming back again with the same claims now in a lawsuit.
Yeah, and
but it looks fishy. I'm with you.
Well, at one point they also say there is a guard in which when you are doing or mimicking an oral part of sex, that he took away the guard as he was trying to simulate it. And at that point, it's a hard stop. Right. That's too much, and it was in class, and it's on tape, and at some point, I think he's going to go down. I like James Franco. I think he's an awesome actor. I think he's funny, but this is gross.
If it's on tape, then why are we...
We don't know where the tapes are. They're trying to get the tapes destroyed.
Wow.
That's part of the lawsuit. And they're nude on those tapes.
And 5 years ago, he had those really questionable text, or not even text, Instagram DMs with girls that are underage and soliciting them for sex and come over to my hotel, clearly looking at their pages. You could tell that they're underage. Yeah. So it doesn't bode well for his character.
No. And just to take the other side on this, they are in a master sex class. Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally agree.
You're signing up to have sex and to simulate, not to have sex, to simulate sex on camera, which anything you do, if you acted, if you take an acting class, they're going to videotape you to show you what you did right and did wrong. I understand there's little things that may have happened, where this guard thing, I don't know if that's true or not true. We have to look at the tapes. But I don't know if I'd be complaining about something, a master sex class. What are you expecting to happen?
I also would have expected, as the girls say in their lawsuit, to be told about the rights, to be told about the person on camera that could be there, how to close down a set, how to be comfortable, what to wear. And he never exposed any of that to any of them. So what kind of master sex class is that if you're not actually educating them on how to do a sex scene?
The right way through SAG qualifications.
Through
the Screen Actors
Guild. You might be a bad teacher, but you're signing
but there should be
there should be consequences for that class.
I know, but there should be consequences for that, because anybody that's going to be going into an intimate sex scene for real, being paid for it, they have to know the ins and outs of, I should have a consultant here. Right. There should be 3 people in the room versus 40 people in the room. Right. I should have a one-on-one with the actor to make sure that we don't use tongue when we kiss. Like, little things like that are important, and they are protected under the union guidelines. So why wouldn't he, as an educator, allegedly not cover those?
But what if let's take the sex out of this, because that's going to polarize people.
The whole thing. It is the whole thing.
But let's say this is Michael B. Jordan in Creed, and he's training to be a boxer. And so I'm not saying this is exactly, you can equate both things, but you're going to take a real punch every once in a while.
No, totally different.
I'm just saying when you are trying to learn something to make it look almost exact.
Boxing and sex are so very different, because one is so very vulnerable. And if I'm taking that class, it's because I want to learn.
Being in the ring with a a professional boxer isn't vulnerable?
It is, but I'm literally I'm nude in front of people, and I'm taking that class.
But you signed up for that
but to learn my rights. I wanted to go there, not to just have sex with James
You wanted to
Franco.
learn your rights. They wanted to learn how to have sex on camera.
Right,
They're
but
not
all he
thinking
did
about that.
was should be all encompassing.
What he did was things that they wouldn't do
How
on
many
camera.
classes did you have to take, different classes, to know, like, oh my God, if I would have knew that 5 classes ago? Sometimes teachers just stink, you know what I mean? And you don't learn certain things. You want to go in there and find women's rights. They just wanted to go in there and probably just be with James Franco and take a sex class.
Well, what about the tapes?
Well, Studio 4 is done. His school is gone.
And they should have their tapes back if that is the thing.
Yep, and we'll see. That litigation will be underway soon. Taylor Swift stopped by, this is such a good video, you guys, by The Tonight Show. Her mom sent Jimmy a video she took of Taylor right after she got LASIK eye surgery. She was all drugged up. Well, Taylor had no idea that her mom even sent it in prior. Watch.
It wasn't the one I wanted. I tried to get this one.
I'm gonna get the other one for you. Okay, here we go.
This one, but what do we do with this now?
I'll eat it. I'll eat it. It's mine.
But it doesn't have a head.
You don't fall asleep eating a banana, okay?
I'm not asleep. My mind is alive.
I love that. It's so nice seeing like big celebrities like be real.
Totally.
I feel like I can't laugh at this because I have my I had my wisdom teeth out a month ago. I can't believe it's been that long. And I recorded a promo for my podcast. I swear I have no memory.
Record a promo?
And Frank showed me the text messages. He's like, I'm like, are you ready to start recording a promo? And he's like, what are you talking about? And like I was like, I'll redo that. I have no memory of texting with him or getting home. So I don't know. I think we have it.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey guys, this is Al Jackson. We've got a new episode up for you guys. And I just want you guys to know that we work so hard that we do promo videos 7 minutes out of coming out of anesthesia. So I'm sure this is going to be great. Tune in.
I've never said the words tune in. That's so weird.
That's hilarious.
I would tune in. I would tune in.
Shout out to my dentist. Great job.
Okay. Well, another Jersey Shore star is sitting in jail right now. Raquel, oh no, please fill us in.
Well, Sam, Ronnie Ortiz Magro is being accused of chasing his girlfriend with a knife after a drug binge. It happened just after 2 a.m. in L.A. His girlfriend, Jen Harley, ran out of their rental screaming for help, saying she had been hit. Police say the Jersey Shore star then chased her with a knife while holding their infant daughter. He then locked himself inside the home, and cops had to break down the door, eventually taking him down with a taser. Jen and the baby are okay. Ronnie faces kidnapping charges, and his bail was set for $100,000.
Wow, what a loser. I'm sorry, because we saw this behavior in Jersey Shore.
Right.
We saw him be violent and aggressive and misogynistic then, and things have not changed.
I think we can learn so much from your boy Jeff, because he was the same way. He was very narcissistic. It's all about my Mike the Situation. Thank you. He's about my abs and partying and fist pumping. And you know what? He was like, that took him to a dark place of addiction. And instead of staying on that track and staying what you know, he was like, I'm gonna do the hard thing and fix myself. I'm gonna lose some fans. They go, oh, you're not fun anymore. You know, is this fun? What he's going through right now? This is what happens. And the reason you called him a loser is because there's nothing sadder than an old man that don't know that he's old. And he's still out there trying to do 22-year-old stuff as a 42-year-old person, but now he's a drug addict and an alcoholic, and that's what this leads to.
But how is this not addiction? We always have like such sympathy for people who are addicted. And
I do, but I want you to have help.
Right.
Believe me, I do. I have so much empathy when it comes to people with addiction. I know people close to me with addiction, but at what point, after how many times you've gotten in fistfights, after how many times you've been accused of domestic violence, do you not pull a Mike situation, get yourself clean, and actually take accountability?
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But I think we give way too many people passes for addiction and things like that when you yourself are like the biggest advocate and you call them a loser. I want to call a lot of people losers, but then I get yelled at from other people saying it's addiction. They're not a loser. They can't control who they are.
Well, I think he crossed the line. I know a lot of addicts that don't pull a knife out with their baby girl
Listen, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Yeah, so I think he's...
He's definitely dealing with the personality. But I think it's a hard thing to change who you are, who you fundamentally are, and whatever home you came out of. Who knows what he saw age 5 to 15? So I'm sure he's just repeating a lot of that.
Yeah, but you got to have accountability.
He does have an example right next to him.
I was just going to say,
co-host.
He's got Mike, luckily, in his life, and luckily he leans on Mike because I think Mike lives for stuff like that.
Right.
He's one of his best friends, and I hope Mike could step in and, no pun intended, help this situation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do too. I really do hope he gets help. I do. Well, Helen Mirren plays a controversial empress in a new limited series. Stephanie Jones, what can we expect?
Well, she's starring in the HBO Catherine the Great as Russia's longest ruling female leader. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Catherine, she had many lovers during her bumpy 30-year reign. So it's no surprise that it'll be part of the show. And in episode 3, Helen's character hits the sheets with a much younger man. There's no word on his age, but she is 74. What do you reckon, Sam?
Well, my favorite part about this, Steph, is if anybody has some spare time in our audience, you can actually watch the clip.
Oh,
and let me tell you, Miss Helen Mirren, the queen, is not impressed.
She's
rolls
not
her eyes
impressed with
after
her.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's
Why are you
rolling her
excited
eyes.
about that?
She doesn't care. She's not interested in that toy boy. He was not up to standard.
Yep.
What? Go for it, Al.
Jeff,
what if it was turned around?
Exactly. What if this was like a 70-year-old man and a 20-year-old?
And he rolled his eyes.
I don't think he would have rolled his eyes.
No.
What? How do you know that young man didn't do what he was supposed to do?
That young man.
Gentle. He was with an old person.
Oh, gentle. It's Helen Mirren. She could take you down in a second.
Oh, Helen Mirren has got
she's
this.
so good, right?
Oh, yeah. She is she's a hot mama, let me tell you. She is idol status. He was lucky to even be there.
You guys, knock it off. Stop with this.
Remember when we interviewed
nonsense.
Helen Mirren? She called Tori and I the two crazy blondes.
Love it.
Oh, thank you so much,
Now we see where the bias comes in.
Huh?
You guys are biased towards her because she gave you your name.
No, she's a wonderful
that allowed you
human
to
being,
copy
a
me and Jeff's
sexy
two-man crew.
Fox cat.
Let's just be honest. It was a complete ripoff. Me and Jeff started the franchise, and you guys
angry
copied
because
it.
we actually had some really good segments.
Dude,
and we
you guys missed.
Oh.
high five. We started it, and then you guys started doing it. Like, we're not doing this
No,
anymore.
actually, she dyed her hair. God. Jeez.
We're the jean
that was
jackets when you need
obvious.
us. Yeah. That was the
Where
that
are our
almost
jean
took our
jackets?
show down.
Mine at home.
I want mine. Where's mine?
I'll find you yours.
Okay, I would love mine.
Okay.
Coming up on DBL, a touching moment between two friends goes viral. See how a high school homecoming queen set an example for what it means to be kind. And we are going to blow your mind with facts about time. Don't miss the Friday fun next.
Okay, so TMZ guys, just so you know that Ronnie, right? Ronnie has been released from jail, I guess. I don't know what.
I guess he posted bail.
Yeah, 100 grand. He's got 100 grand. Yeah,
Well, you
you're
got to pay
absolutely
10 grand, right?
Yeah, you pay 10%, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably, that's right. All right, we're going to move on to happier things in the break because some of you are watching while working, so we're going to play a sports trivia game. Here we go. Anyone knows the answer? Just go ahead and call it out. What colored jersey is worn by the winners of each stage of
Yellow.
the Tour de France? Yellow.
How'd you know that?
Could have been the green jacket for golf.
She said each stage.
Or is it gold jacket?
No, green. You were right. The Masters. Name the only heavyweight boxing champion to finish his career of 49 fights without ever having been
Rocky
defeated.
Marciano.
Yeah, you know why? Because we just talked to,
That's weird. How do you do that?
Coming to America. That's how he knows that. And he just posted on his Instagram something about coming to America.
Really?
Yeah. I almost wrote that.
Oh, was it your Lyft driver?
My Lyft.
Yeah, I saw that.
The nicest guy ever.
How come every time? Because never mind.
How many times was the men's tennis singles at Wimbledon won by Bjorn Borg?
14.
4, 14?
8. I just
5.
Almost.
Almost. In 2011, which country hosted a Formula One race for the very first time?
Monte Carlo?
Very good try.
That's not a country.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
It's like a
Monte
Provence.
Carlo?
Italy?
For the first
It's in
time in
France.
2011.
Bahamas.
India.
Definitely not the Bahamas.
I didn't know that. Which piece, chess piece, can only which chess piece can only move diagonally?
The bishop.
The rook.
Really? You know chess?
That was good.
Wow.
In football, who is nicknamed the Divine Ponytail?
What? Ew.
What?
Gross.
I lost
That
3
is
friends.
the divine
Steven
ponytail.
Seagal?
I've never heard of that.
Is that not good?
Is it Bosworth? He had
Yeah,
long
no,
hair?
it's Roberto Baggio.
No.
Oh, football, soccer.
Oh, this might be a British site.
Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. It's Friday, and depending on how you perceive time, the week has either flown by or has been an agonizing crawl to the finish
Depending
line.
if you work with Tori.
So we are going to take a look at, it means it's flown by. Facts about time that will blow your mind. First up, Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr., and Barbara Walters were all born in the same year, 1929. That blows my mind.
Why? How does that happen?
Because Anne Frank you only see in black and white, and you think of her as 250 years ago.
Same with Martin Luther King.
Really?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
But that's so crazy.
I know, unbelievable. Up next is all of the Brady Bunch kids are now older than Alice was on the show. Susan Olsen, better known as Cindy Brady, is 58, and Ann B. Davis was 48 when the show ended.
I interviewed Susan Olsen.
Whoa,
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah, she's interesting.
Way to make it about you.
Well, check out this mind-blowing fact. Cambridge University is older than the statues on Easter Island. England's oldest university was founded in 1209, and the statues date back to the late 13th century. That's incredible.
All right, I have a question for everybody.
Thanks.
The heads of Easter Island are emojis on your phone. When would you ever use that?
Oh, I've never used them.
There's so many emojis.
I know.
When would you use it?
Hey, Sam, I'm in a fight with someone. What should I do? Act stone face emoji.
Oh, that's a good one. No,
that's good, actually.
That's actually really good.
That's a good one. You don't deserve crickets.
Undo the
on that
crickets.
one. Yeah, undo it.
Undo the crickets.
I object.
Up next is the Karate Kid's Ralph Macchio is now older than Mr. Miyagi was when the movie when they first filmed. Ralph is 57. The Karate Master then was 52.
Ralph Macchio is 57?
He does. Yeah, and if you watch, and I tell you, I watch it on YouTube.
You could have just said that.
Well, if you watch, have you seen him recently?
You love him.
Yes, he's on the Deuce.
He's on Cobra Kai as well. Cobra Kai is fantastic.
I'm sorry, I brought up an HBO show. Let's go to YouTube.
Cobra Kai is everybody from Karate Kid. They're all in there. It's fantastic. And he looks 40.
Wow.
He's really been, he's aged like I've never seen anybody
You know what
age.
he named his son?
What?
Daniel, so he can call him Daniel's son. Yeah, isn't that cool?
way.
Yeah, it's a true story.
That's great. He really dug into that character.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And he was great. Don't forget, he was really great in My Cousin Vinny as well.
Yeah,
He was.
Yeah.
I
Good in
shot
that.
the clerk.
Yeah,
I
and
shot
it's like
the clerk.
for him to break out of that is the definition of being typecast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you are the Karate Kid forever, and for him to do that role, that's way harder. So
Good for him.
Shout out, yes, I love My Cousin Vinny.
Coming up on DBL, a special friendship that will warm your heart. See how a Texas high school student gave up her homecoming crown in today's DBL Superstar of the Week. But first, a DBL security alert. Important tips on protecting yourself and your money from mail fraud.
Could someone...
Hey, welcome back, DBL Nation. I know it's been so long, girl. How's your grandma, your cousin, and them? Ooh, I hope they're doing good. Anyways, welcome back to Beauty Blast with Jeray for the Slay. Today, I want to talk to you guys about getting that skin that slays. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the highlight, the serums, exfoliators, so on and so forth, but I want to show you guys how to get that quick skin glow at home. Yes, you can do it at home yourself. So all you're gonna need is a little bit of Fix Plus or any type of setting spray. It can be NYX, NYC, ELF, whoever. Just make sure you get a little setting spray. I like to take a little bit of glitter, so you can get a loose glitter. That's my favorite kind to use. But if you don't have one, feel free to take a shadow pan and to go ahead and grab a spoolie or a butter knife, scrape off a little bit, and you're making yourself a little glitter, honey, and save yourself a little coin too. Now, once you go ahead and take that guy off, all we're gonna go ahead and do is flip off our little Fix Plus bottle or your NYX, whatever it may be. I like using Fix Plus though because I used to be a MAC boy. We'll go back to that story in the future though, okay? I promise. Now, what you can also do, guys, is also use like pure pigment. NYX, MAC also sells this, but for today, we're gonna use a glitter pigment. Now, I already went ahead and shaved this beforehand. It's nice and pretty and pearlescent, very cute. we're just gonna go ahead and dump some of that product right into our Fix Plus bottle, right? And by doing this, we're going to create an instant radiance fixing setting spray. It's gonna be something. My mouth doesn't know what it is just yet. It's cool though, no biggie. So go ahead, put your bottle back together. Bloop, 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 bloop. This is like a BuzzFeed ad, girl. Shake it up. Ooh, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Y'all heard that new Megan Thee Stallion song? Something like that. It's like Simon Says, hey. Now, this guy is ready to go. All you have to do is spray onto your skin, and you have a beautiful pearlescent finish onto your skin. You can do setting spray on your chest.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. A man from Van Nuys, California was just sentenced to 20 years for scamming the elderly out of $17 million. He used fake deeds and tricked people through the mail to send their monthly payments to him. He actually threatened them with litigation if they did not pay. So we've got some tips to avoid mail fraud. It's really important to read the fine print. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So make sure to track your payments. And a lot of these scams will disguise their solicitations as invoices, hoping you'll just automatically pay, right? Well, if anything looks questionable, do your research. Do a quick online search, and if a phone number is provided, do not hesitate to give them a call and ask questions. Have any of you ever fallen victim to mail fraud or know someone?
No, but you know the Lori Loughlin story, that's what's going to do her in, is the mail fraud. After all of this, the mail fraud, when she refused to do a plea deal, that can cost you an enormous amount of money. It's a really serious, serious crime. So be on the lookout. It happens to very vulnerable people, but it is everywhere.
It happened to me when I was broke in grad school.
Really?
I got hooked up to a predatory lender. I thought it was my federal loan, and it looked just like the same envelope.
Wow.
And I cashed the check.
And they knew that.
Yes, and it was so. And I mean, I got LifeLock, but it's just for another reason. I travel all the time, and whenever you hook up to the Wi-Fi at the airport, the Wi-Fi at the subway, the Wi-Fi.
Expose yourself.
Yes, this is all people do all day is try and find your information. So I have it. This is just for me. I have it for my kids.
Yeah, my sister's screwed
This is
by
it.
it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, I think it's important because they'll notify you if there's anything.
Yeah.
Anything weird on your credit report. If you even pop up in a different company's data breach, whether it be Google or PayPal,
Yes.
Right.
they will
DoorDash,
immediately DoorDash. They will immediately notify you and what steps you need to take.
Wow.
So it's something that's been on my list of things to do.
Yeah, and even like if you apply for a new credit card, like I did, I applied for a travel card, and LifeLock is like, is this you?
Yeah, right.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, it was. You know, because if there's an inquiry in your credit, so
And it could have easily been someone else, and then you could have nipped that in the bud right
that's
there.
it.
So
Worth it.
you know, very worth it. We'll be right back, folks.
And to protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here with Leo, and we have a movie review of Joker. And it's a lot to start on this one.
Yeah, for real. This is a serious take, guys. Like this is not as superhero comic book action-packed as the Marvel movies. This is
It's not at all.
very different.
This is completely deviated. I'm still feeling uncomfortable. The subject matter is serious, realistic, gritty, dark. Think Taxi Driver, which Robert De Niro is actually in this film too. Very
funny
different
enough.
role. I also want to add that Joaquin's Phoenix performance was powerful. It was very good. It's all the hype it's had. It lives up to it. It's well done. The cinematography is great. The style, the plot, it's good, but it's just a lot to take in.
This is not quite a family movie.
No.
If we're gonna go see this one, this is not for the kids. Slight spoiler warning, there is no Batman in this, so there is no real superhero this time.
This is really way too serious of a subject matter. It's really dark.
Yeah, it dives a lot into the mental psyche
Yeah.
of this character and also just mental health industry as a whole. And it's just a very serious movie as a whole, as I was saying.
It's really dark. That's the best way I can describe it, is if you want to go see it, you have to mentally prepare yourself. If you're going to go see it with someone, make sure you're both on the same page about what you're going to see, because it's going to be realistic and it might make you feel, to me, when a movie is too close to home as it could happen to my neighbor, it leaves me feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That's how I describe it.
Gritty, it's dark, it's a lot. But would you say go to the theaters to see this, wait for Redbox, or don't see it at all?
I would say if you're not a fan of horror films, because I kind of akin this more to a horror film than I do a drama or psychological thriller. If that's your speed, you should see it. If you are uncomfortable watching that kind of intimate violence, I wouldn't see it at all. I don't think I could ever see it again, to be quite honest.
Be aware of this one, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Welcome back to DBL. Airbnb is adding animals to their business plan by giving people a chance to hang with some across the globe. You can now enjoy a spot of tea with sheep in Scotland. You can even walk Amelia the pig around Ireland. And rock band Kiss will perform for sharks. The group will use underwater speakers to play for them and submerged fans. Ooh. So when I first heard this, I thought, okay, no, another exploitative, like I'm sick of seeing people taking selfies with dolphins or people riding elephants in Thailand and complete abuse of these animals. But this is actually great. I looked into it, being frustrated at first, and they've actually partnered with great animal welfare organizations to make sure that these are sanctuaries, to make sure that they actually ban. They will not allow anybody in Airbnb to do excursions where you ride an elephant or take a selfie with a dolphin or go swimming with the dolphins. So this is their way of allowing you to participate with different sanctuaries where you're still getting animal interaction without it being exploitative. So I commend them. Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's so nice.
Do a little goat yoga?
Yeah, it feels like a little goat yoga. What would you guys want to do?
I want to walk Amelia the pig around Ireland. How fun would that be?
Amelia.
To a pub or something? It'd be so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have too many and forget the pig and walk out I'm forgetting something. It's oh, Amelia.
Come on, Amelia. What about you?
I don't know. I'd like to do something where I could just kind of maybe drink something like tea or coffee and then have something crawl on you, like non-venomous snakes or something. I'd like that.
Snakes crawling on you with tea?
That would be cool.
Possibly.
What's wrong with that?
We have one more story, sorry.
I'm sorry, you guys don't like my snake.
This is a really important story. It's time to honor our DBL Superstar of the Week with this heartwarming story out of Texas. High school student Trinity Arrington decided she wanted to share her homecoming queen title with her friend Emily Petty. Emily, who is also nominated, has Down syndrome. Trinity said she wanted Emily to have her own shining moment, so she walked over during the ceremony, placed the crown on Emily's head, and the two have been friends since they first met while Trinity spent some time in the special education classroom.
I can't with this.
These are the stories that literally make me tick. I wish we could hear stories like this all day long.
Right. And I'm sure they happen all day long.
I know.
You know what I mean? But we have
Don't focus on them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well done.
We'll see you Monday. Same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Hey everybody, we're gonna play a game. 10
Between
questions.
the show with Shuby and Shulman.
With Shuby and Shulman. 10 questions about history.
Okay, I'm not good at history. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh, that was a bad call.
Yeah.
What did I just do?
Name the 3 primary colors.
No, that's not history.
Oh. I was going to say, that's easy. Okay, when was William Shakespeare born?
1410.
No.
1520.
A little higher.
1610.
1564.
Okay.
I don't even know how to say that one, so we're going to keep going. Which famous battle between the British Royal Navy and the combined fleets of the French Navy and Spanish Navy took place on the 21st of October, 1805? There's no way you know this one, and if you do, you're a freak.
The Battle of Arpeggio.
Trafalgar. That?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do know what I'm talking about. That's pretty crazy. When did Margaret Thatcher become prime minister?
19...
She's got this one.
Come
on. 79. Pretty close, pretty close. Okay, when did the Cold War end?
19...
Christy, you know this one?
No. 50...
The Cold War end?
Yeah, when did the Cold War end?
It is?
Berlin Wall fell.
Yeah, so what
81?
what was the year? 89. 89. See, you're good. When did the architect who designed, who was the architect who designed the Millennium Dome?
I'm going to say Ian Pei or Frank Gehry.
Richard Rogers.
All right, that good old Richard
DBL
Rogers.
Nation, did you know any of these answers? Let us know if
I know
you did.
two.
Bye-bye.
Star.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The jurors in the Amber Geiger case are speaking out.
I think that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Hear what they have to say about the 10-year sentence decision. Then, new questions surface about the Trump whistleblower being a Democrat. Does his political party matter? Plus, hilarious video of Taylor Swift while on post-surgery painkillers.
It wasn't the one I wanted.
Find out why she got so emotional over a banana? And our new interview with Veep and Toy Story 4 star Tony Hale.
I'm so excited.
Well done, well done.
Real, honest, entertaining, live.
Daily Blast Live happens now. But I have a question. Where am I?
3, 2.
Oh, it's too good. Welcome to DBL. Erica Cobb, what day is it?
It's Friday.
Forgot it was Friday. It's October 4th already? That's crazy. You said ew?
Yeah, I have to get a lot of stuff done, a lot of gourds.
Yeah, I know. We got the Halloween to prepare for. I'm here with Erica, Tori, Jeff. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. Let's start with a quick update on a story we talked about a couple days ago. It was about this woman who's now being called Lion Queen, by the way, after she climbed over the fence at a lion exhibit at the Bronx Zoo. She was dancing, you remember, waving her arms, taunting a lion. Well, now the NYPD have ID'd her as 32-year-old Maya Autry, and they're asking for the public's help in tracking her down. Even though the woman's Instagram clearly shows she's been, spotted recently in Times Square posing with local members of their police force. And if you look at her t-shirt closely, it's a leopard print MTV logo. So trolling people. She also posted a photo of Mike Tyson with his tiger, calling him king, since everyone's calling her queen. Let's stop calling her queen, okay, please. Erica, what should happen to this woman?
Honestly, I think she should face the same repercussions as someone who attempted to poach an animal. She put the lion in jeopardy. She put a possible first responder or a zookeeper in jeopardy. She put people in jeopardy to see it.
Yes.
If something would have happened. And there has to be some type of stop to the social media madness. Everybody who wants their 15 minutes goes on Instagram and does something extreme. And it's getting to the point where other people's lives are in jeopardy. And let me tell you, anything that anyone can do makes it not that special.
Well said.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including some of you, are still upset. We are as well on this panel over Amber Geiger's 10-year prison sentence. They feel like it was way too lenient, given she shot an unarmed black man in his own home. But now some of the jurors are explaining their decision. Check out what one of the jurors said about it.
I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her. And I didn't feel like I had any right to speak for him. And he isn't there to talk for himself. But listening to how people talked about him, I felt like he would forgive her.
And another juror chimed in about her decision.
This case was not like any other case. You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that killed unarmed black men, when they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Geiger, ever since she killed that man, she has not been the same. She showed remorse, and that she's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Did you see remorse? Did you see remorse?
BS. No, I didn't see remorse, and I also don't appreciate the juror who says Botham's not here to speak, therefore that's not my voice. That's your only job as a juror because he's not there. You represent a peer because you need to say, this is not right, here is justice, this is what will vindicate you. Either they were misinformed, right, from the defense attorney, which they could do, about what they're supposed to focus on, or they're just dumb, because that backfired and makes me more mad.
I don't envy the position of any of the jurors, especially not the African-American female, because that was a lose-lose. I don't envy her position. However, I do think that it became the Amber Geiger show. Yeah. And you can tell because when the juror spoke, she referred to Amber Geiger by name and then referred to Botham as him. I think that's really important because I think they drank the Kool-Aid that the defense gave. And if she was really remorseful, I feel like she was remorseful that she got caught and she's being held accountable, but I didn't get the sense that she was remorseful as in this is something that she regrets doing, because I don't think she regretted it until she realized that it wasn't going to be the status quo and she wasn't going to do the crocodile tears and like twirl the blonde hair and be okay, because we've seen that happen a million times in this country. So it's interesting that it ended up that way. I really thought that the jury was going to be very irritated that she threw herself, like she
I
threw
thought they were gonna
such
throw the book at her.
like she just, like it was such a show.
Yes.
And I thought once the text messages came out that they would be really irritated that she did that, but instead it seems like they just drank the Kool-Aid of the defense.
You said that.
Yeah.
From day one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Want me to say it again?
No, I just want to get you in here, Jeff.
Yeah.
Come on now. More on the impeachment showdown. CNN reports that the whistleblower is a registered Democrat. But does it matter if he is a Democrat or a Republican? Do you think it matters, Jeff?
Strictly based on Democrat or Republican, they should not have released this information.
Yeah.
We are so divisive in our country right now. This is a whistleblower. Let's protect him at all costs. Donald Trump can't meet him. All these things about keeping this man's who he is, or if he is a man or if he is a woman.
No, he's a man, we know that.
CIA agent.
And we released that he's a Democrat?
Not only that, the New York Times released.
Like, why would you do that?
Hey,
instead of throwing fuel on the fire.
I agree with you completely, and I normally never do. But they not only announced him as a Ukrainian expert with European strategies, right? That made people, over 1,000 people, cancel their New York Times subscription because you're putting that man at risk.
Right.
For now, I can narrow it down to about 100 people. You know, how many CIA agents with those kinds of, affiliates are in the White House? So I think it's a stupid move. I also think I can show you 3 pieces of evidence, the text messages, oh yeah, yesterday on the South Lawn himself, and the transcript he released that corroborates what the whistleblower
Well, I'm just sick of it being Democrat, Republican. Like I said before, I don't care if this was Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, President Obama, or President Trump. So the chair of the FEC, that's who matters. That's the person that decides whether something's illegal or legal. Her name is Ellen Weintraub. She is the chair of the FEC, which is the Federal Election Commission. She was appointed by George W. She tweeted this because there was first an official bulletin. That's what you're looking at. That never made it to the public. Right. It should have. So she was, whoa, what's going on? I'm going to tweet this. This is what she tweeted. It is illegal for any person to solicit, accept, or receive, if we could get the full screen up, anything of value from a foreign national in connection with a U.S. election. She also goes in to elaborate about how our founding fathers put this in place for a reason, and it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, if you're a Trump supporter or an Obama supporter, what's wrong is wrong. And I think it's important to hear from the FEC because that, at the end of the day, is the ones that are checks and balances when it comes to the commission. So
absolutely.
Chime in. I want you all to watch this crazy dash cam video. A Florida cop pulls over a car for speeding, but the officer discovers the man is rushing, well, because his pregnant wife needs to get to the hospital. Well, there's no time, so the officer jumps into action. Check out what happens next.
I ran to my patrol car, grabbed some gloves and a sterile blanket from my patrol vehicle. The baby girl had come out, and I checked to make sure that she was breathing and that she was okay. And she squeezed my finger with a nice firm grip.
And here's the officer with the happy new dad. Wow. I just think, you know, that woman must have felt so vulnerable, and then to have like a confident police officer there, like guiding her through, not to say that her husband couldn't have done the same, but
he couldn't.
Yeah, seriously, especially if it's a first child too, maybe the second child, but the first child, like, you are out of your mind. You don't know what's happening, so.
No.
Do we? Oh, dang. Eventually we have to show that picture of yours.
Oh, it'd be perfect.
I know.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of it?
Go to my Instagram. You could
go
see
to
it. I don't know
Jeff's
if it's
Instagram.
appropriate for
No,
daytime TV.
It just goes to show that it's.
It was a real photo, and oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's like.
One day we will. One day we will. It's a good tease.
YouTube
One day we will.
You'll see childbirth, and you'll see what's going on down there.
That's true. Some breaking news. Yeah, exactly. Some breaking news just in. Diahann Carroll, an Oscar-nominated actress and singer, a pioneer. She has died. She was 84. She was the first black woman to star in her own TV series as Julia, and is well known for her role on Dynasty. And quite the pioneer. I mean, the first African-American actress to say, I'm not going to play a servant anymore. I'm going to play an actual person.
Right.
Yeah.
My big mama, anytime I think of Diahann Carroll, I think of my big mama, because she was just so respected she was respected by many people, but especially black women, because she opened the door for me to be sitting here right now. She opened the door for so many of us to be able to express ourselves in a dignified way and be seen as respected. And she also was one of the first to be stamped all day long before stamped was a thing, because she was
polished.
Wait,
what
I know.
mean?
Stamped, like her makeup was perfect.
Literally.
Like,
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Okay.
Yes.
Am I stamped?
You are stamped.
Okay,
honey.
but
Yes.
she's Diahann Carroll. I was going to say, is probably one of the most beautiful person I've ever
gorgeous.
seen. Yeah, like
gorgeous.
drop dead gorgeous.
And you're wearing pink today. She's a breast cancer survivor, and it's because of her that many women can now get breast cancer screenings for free. So
My God, what a woman.
I know, her
What a
legacy
woman.
will continue to impact many. So may she rest in peace. DBL's Live coming up. 2 former acting students are suing James Franco, and they want more than money. Why he could be in serious trouble. Plus, co-host Tori Shulman goes one-on-one with the man behind the voice of Forky, Tony Hale from Toy Story 4. Find out how he brought the lovable character to life in Chatting with the Stars. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. Should cops have to meet certain waistline requirements? Our agency's tough rules are, or one agency's tough rules rather, are being called into question. Your comments next.
Yeah, Jeff had a good burn, but he couldn't use it, but that would have been a good burn. Okay, really quick, I want to let you know, Michael Loveland asked a really good idea that said, could the judge in the case have overruled the sentencing of the jury in the Amber Geiger case? Do you guys know what I'm saying? So they give 10 years, and she's like, you know what? I feel like this doesn't feel right. I am definitely going to give a higher sentence. The answer, I believe, and I'll double check, but is no, because in Texas criminal cases, you, the defendant, get to pick if you want the judge or the jury to give you the sentencing. It's a very weird law. It's not in a lot of states, but she chose the jury, and you can't then go back and say the judge overrules that jury. So I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, man, I hope she comes out and says 28, because that's how long both of them, John, would have been alive for, and we want a year for his life. That's what prosecution really wanted. 10 years feels shallow. mean, stupid, angry. That's my opinion. Now we want to hear from you.
Was New Rochelle from New York City?
Do they get to decide before or after the judge is appointed if they want?
After.
After the judge is appointed?
So they get to decide.
So she knew that it was going to be a black female judge.
That's why we think she went to the jury, because she's like, that isn't going to go well for me. So I'm going to go to the jury because I can get one person to get me to do that. Now the problem with that is you never know who's going to go which way, but I thought it would backfire on her. It did not. Because the defense, we weren't there. They played a good game. They played a really, you're right, they drank that Kool-Aid.
I love it.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, where we get to hear from you. The topic, well, state troopers in Texas are suing after some were told to slim down. A new policy could lead to the firing of male officers with a waist larger than 40 inches, female officers with a waist exceeding 35, even if they pass their physical fitness test. So DBL Nation, we got to hear from you. Do you agree with this policy, or would you say it is discrimination? Tori?
All right, Jim from Twitter says, look, I'm physically fit. I weigh 230 pounds. I'm also 6'3". However, my waist is 41 inches due to my large build. It's crazy that this could have me fired. I get that, and I do hear that, and I know it might not be great to have a blanket statement, but obviously there's a problem in this county because they're making some kind of restriction here. So I think certain jobs like firefighting, lifeguards, need to have a certain amount of requirements for their job, and I'm worried that if I were attacked, I'd want someone with really good physical strength to take after that person. So.
But what if like the slightly bigger person, like people I used to swim with that were world ranked, could outswim the lifeguard that you have envisioned in your mind? I'd rather have the person that could outswim them. I don't think it equates.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I just think in this situation, when I looked it up, they said they were having a real issue with like very overweight. That's the
Then how are they passing their physical test?
That's the question I have about the test.
All right.
Well, Ty from Facebook says, I agree with this because this is for public safety. If you want to be out of shape, get a desk job like me. Well, thank you, Ty. So I always have a problem when it comes to numbers because numbers do not apply to all people for a variety of different reasons. We all come in very different shapes and sizes, and you can't have blanket numbers. Sam brought up the idea of swimmers. Also think of track, like the body of someone who runs long distance endurance is very different from the body of someone who runs sprints and shorter distances. So there are other things to keep in mind, but I do agree that if they're having these discussions, there is a problem.
Well, I'm with you, Erica, and so is Tony. Tony from Twitter says, not all physically fit troopers are of the same body type, height, or the same genetic makeup. I think, not to just reiterate exactly what they said, I think they need to tighten up the test, actually.
Yeah, I think so,
because I do see a lot of officers that do look overweight. Trust me, I played college football. I know a lot of guys that look like that, but they're actually faster and stronger than I was at the time. So you can't judge people, you can't judge a book by its cover, but trust me, I have seen some people walk in the streets like, what are you going to do if something happens? You know what I mean? So maybe they need to tighten up that test a little bit.
I like that idea. Doris from Facebook says, I personally think a lot of officers are a little too heavy. I also think about how can it present some serious problems and get in the way of their jobs. That's interesting. Yeah, you definitely want to look at it from their perspective as well and make sure that they're in the best shape. I think, Jeff, your idea is spot on. If you could somehow make that physical test maybe a little bit more
strenuous. I mean, think about the firefighting test. I mean, that's lugging up and down. You don't see heavy firefighters very often. I'm not trying to put down cops. I love cops, but you want to see that because it gives morale to the whole city and the community.
Good point.
There are a lot of jacked officers too.
I know.
Oh, yeah, no, there are.
Thank you to the men and women in blue.
Yes.
Coming up on DBL, Taylor Swift post-surgery and on some major meds. That's her. You don't want to miss this hilarious viral video. And next, Tony Hale from Veep is on DBL. There he is. He tells co-host Tori Shulman how the cast reacted to Julia Louis-Dreyfus losing her Emmy nom in Chatting with the Stars.
Are we on?
We
Welcome
are
back to
on.
Digital Breaks, guys. Hey, Miss Steph.
Hey, oh my gosh, why don't we tell them about our new exciting, well, Dre's new exciting thing that I took part in.
Oh my gosh, yes. So yesterday, as we talked about a little bit earlier, we filmed our first podcast together, and it's called Slay with Dre. We had to re-record that this morning, by the way, that little part there. But it's called Slay with Dre, and Stephanie co-hosted with me for our first episode, in which we talked about just fun, light stuff like entertainment, celebrity gossip, you know, the beauty in the world. It's all really cool. So you guys have to check it out. I think it should be coming out today or launching today, if not Monday for sure.
I was gonna ask John, but he's gone wandering off to ask.
He's working hard.
Yeah, he's working hard.
We'll definitely check in with you guys, and I will be listing it on my social media, and maybe Steph will put it on one of her stories as well, for sure.
Definitely.
But it is gonna be, it's a really great conversation. Not too long, just 15 minutes of just two friends talking some, you know, tea talk or whatever. So it's gonna be a really good time.
And are you gonna do it every week, Dre? Is that the goal?
Weekly. Yes, so we're definitely gonna be doing that weekly, at least once a week for sure. Fingers crossed for twice a week, and hopefully we have some really great special guests coming up too that I am in the works of working with and talking to. So hopefully
John.
we get that going.
So John, we were just saying about the new podcast, Dre's new podcast that's coming out really soon.
Yes.
When can they expect the first episode?
Monday.
Monday.
We are currently working on getting some new branding for it, and also we want it to be a exquisite product.
Yes.
And you cannot rush art.
Luxury.
So
This is true.
Monday.
Yes. Now, John, we also have had a podcast for a while. So can you tell us where our viewers can see that podcast?
So the Daily Blastcast, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Google Play. That's where you can find it.
So make sure you guys...
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob Harris. Look how long his arms are.
Trash? No, toys. They're all toys.
Trash.
I never thought I'd be able to relate to a confused plastic spork. No matter how old you are, though, Toy Story 4 is hilarious, and a big reason why is this new toy, Forky, voiced by Tony Hale. I got the pleasure to catch up with the Veep and Arrested Development actor ahead of the movie's DVD release in today's hilarious Chatting with the Stars. Tony Hale, welcome to Daily Blast Live. Were you aware, by the way, Tony, of how many adult fans love Forky? So I wanted to read some tweets to get your reaction. Quote, Forky is the best, the end, the anxiety icon. Or I don't know who is the most relatable. Character Bo Peep, strong and independent. Woody refuses to ask for help. Or Forky, trash.
You know, I was very overwhelmed even to be asked to be in this movie.
Right.
Forky's very overwhelmed. He sees the world very simply. He asks a lot of questions. You know, he's kind of in the middle of his own existential crisis where people are like, hey, Forky, and he's like, here's the deal. I'm a spork. So let's establish that. I don't know why you're calling me Forky.
So he's gender identified with a different cutlery.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's like, you know, I was made to help people eat and go to the trash, so I don't know why you're calling me a toy.
Oh, man.
But Woody comes along and he's like, listen, you're made for more. You have purpose. You are worthy to be loved and to love. And it's just like, oh, God, who doesn't want to hear that, you know?
I fork and love it. Now, you're a dad to a 13-year-old who says, you say she's embarrassed by everything you do. Would she be more embarrassed by your
Everything
Mr. Roboto commercial? Or the time when things got revealing on Sex and the City with Kim Cattrall.
She hasn't seen a lot of my work. She hasn't seen Veep, and she won't until she's in her middle age. No, but it was fun to be able to share a Toy Story with her.
That's
awesome. Because she grew up on that franchise, and so it was neat I was cool to have her see her dad in that.
Veep just ended forever. Were you surprised when Julia Louis-Dreyfus didn't win Best Actress in a Comedy, especially because she could have made Emmy history?
I mean, I'm such a huge Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan, so I think she should win everything she goes out for.
You're right. Out of all the roles that you've had, and they're really some of the most well-written comedic roles ever, which one was your favorite, if you had to say?
They're all so different.
Yeah.
I think probably just because it's so fresh.
Yeah.
On Veep, we got really close.
Yeah.
And so I just loved the whole process because it was a real kind of free environment where you were free to like throw out ideas even if they were bad.
Right.
I had the time of my life.
It's like
on
a
that
family situation almost.
Yeah, it really was, and that's what you want.
Thank you so much, Tony Hale. You're amazing.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Such an honor to
Thanks,
talk
Tori.
to you anytime. And bye, brother.
Bye, sister.
Bye. He said bye, sister. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
It is Friday, which means it's almost the weekend. I'm really excited because this weekend something really special is happening. Erica Cobb, one of our co-hosts, is hosting the Red Wagon Ball, which is all for charity for CASA. And you can probably check it out online. I'm sure we'll be doing a posting on their website too. So if you guys Google Red Wagon Ball, you can find out all about it. And I'm really excited. All the hosts are going to go support. Can't wait to see Erica raise some really good money for charity. There's going to be a silent auction, and it's all like helping real people in need, so it's going to be amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's not until tomorrow, so I can't wait to see what everyone's wearing. I've seen Erica's outfit and it literally looks amazing. She's wearing almost like a sheer, I'm not going to give too many clues away, but it's kind of sheer with diamonds on it and sparkles. It's really sparkly. And I'm wearing a glittery outfit too, but not as glittery as Erica's, but I'm really, really excited. So that's happening this weekend tomorrow. So that's going to be really great. So that's what I'm doing this weekend. I want to know what you guys are doing. You have to write in and let us know, DBL Nation. I want to hear from you. And aside from that, this week was really exciting because you just heard in the last break, Dre, our very lovely makeup artist, has just got his very own podcast. So he already does Beauty Blast. He does Beauty Blast, which you guys can watch throughout the week. And then now he's also got his own podcast, and he's been working so hard, and it's so good. I managed to go on it yesterday. It was really, really great. It was really fun. And John behind me has been working on putting it all together. So when it gets to Monday, you guys are going to be able to listen, and it's going to be on multiple platforms because we have got some amazing podcasts here at DBL, and I feel as though we should really celebrate those, and you guys can get even more information on them.
Yeah, so the podcasts you can view on multiple platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn. Yes, TuneIn. I believe that's it. There may be one or two more I'm forgetting, but hopefully by Monday. But anyways, yes, Slaycast.
If we go on the website, does it give instructions on how to listen on the podcast, do you think?
No, if you just go on one of the services I mentioned and type in Daily Blastcast, you'll find it. You'll find the Slay podcast on there. It's just kind of where we upload all of our podcasts. So Monday, you can find that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Welcome back to DBL. Tori, comments?
Yes, this is people writing in, and a lot of them saying that cop deserved to get 99 years or worse is what I'm getting. So it's just interesting to see.
Amber Geiger.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that the jurors releasing their comments absolutely did not help the situation, is what I mean. I think it added some fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I think because of those text messages.
Yeah, how do you ignore that?
You can't rationalize that.
And it's hard because, like I said, I don't empathize, or I don't envy her position, because for a second, that's why I was so frustrated, because I bought that performance for a split second. So if you're in there the entire time,
you're isolated, right? So and also think about this: the defense litigation firm knew exactly what they're doing from the beginning, so they're playing it like marionettes, and they won.
Wow. Yep. Power of a defense team, huh, Tori?
Yep.
Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Will James Franco's past take him down? Why two former acting students are going after him in court. Plus, Taylor Swift like you've never seen her before.
My mind is alive.
I wonder what she's on. And we are blowing your mind. Outrageous but true facts that will alter your perception of reality and time when DBL comes back.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here, and right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trendy news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. iPhones will soon look a little different. Apple is launching a smaller phone that's just as powerful as the iPhone 11. It's also cheaper, and the phone should be available next year, which makes me happy because have you seen my hands or my face? Holding the iPhone Plus was pretty much like putting a giant laptop to the side of my face. So thank you, Apple. And move over Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel. There's a new talk show host in town, ready to talk to all the A-list stars. It's Elmo. He'll be heading to HBO with the Not Too Late Show with Elmo, and I can't wait. And don't mess with a cat dad. Justin Bieber is firing back at Peta after they issued a statement saying he should adopt a cat instead of getting hybrid Savannah kittens. He says Peta should go focus on real problems. And now that October is here, it's time to talk about Halloween candy. A survey from candystore.com found that Americans hate candy corn, knocking circus peanuts from the top spot. Seriously? Really? Am I the only person out there loving candy corn? DBL Nation, please help me out here. Or just send me all the candy corn that you hate. Thanks in advance. That's it for Fast Blast. See you next time.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live, so let's get started, shall we? Well, 2 of James Franco's former acting students are suing him. They claim he pressured female students to get naked for auditions, promising them movie roles that sometimes did not pan out. The women are not only suing for money, but they also want their nude audition tapes destroyed. Now, these are also the same 2 women that in 2018 that came forward alleging the same things. Of course, James Franco's prosecution is saying they debunked it once. We're going to debunk it twice. According to these young women, they claim that if they can get back those tapes, that you will see a different story.
Yeah, I did some research into this. It doesn't look good for James Franco. I like James Franco. I think he's a great, funny actor and very, very creative. But according to these women, and they're coming back at them again, meaning they are not feeling that justice has been served. If you are all faking this, you don't come back and spend the money. Not only did he not teach them the rights of what you do in a sex scene, which is why you take the class, right? You want to learn, you have a coach, you have a consultant, you can talk to the director, you can be clothed a certain way. None of that was discussed. And if you wouldn't get naked in front of the tapes, you were out of the class.
Wow.
And not only that, during one part where you're manipulating oral sex, there's a guard that protects you from being that intimate, and he removed, allegedly, the guard. Now, that is an industry that's against all union rules, like hard stop. If that happened,
well, the school shut down, so.
Yeah, so also these women are on tapes and they can't find themselves nude, so it doesn't look good to me for James Franco.
Well, the optics definitely aren't great. It kind of reads as if, you know, like with some adults, unfortunately, who do things in the kid arena so that they can get closer to kids, like pedophiles. It reads that way a bit. But the other thing is, I watched The Deuce, and I can't watch it without thinking about these allegations because James Franco is playing twin brothers for double the amount of sex scenes. It's like more sex all the time.
It's a lot of sex.
And it's James Franco, whether he's Frankie or whatever his name is. So it seems a little strange that he would continue to do that knowing that this is looming.
I'll just to take James Franco's side here. If you're in a master sex class there's going to be sex going on in that class. Not, so to speak,
right.
like that, but you're going to be simulating sex in that class. That's what you're expected to do. If you're not doing that in the class, you're going to get removed from the class. You're not there to do what it's to do. I don't know if James Franco needs to make his own school to get with women. I think he could go out anywhere and pick up any woman he wants. I don't know if he needs to make his own school to.
But then why does he go on Instagram, which we've seen the Instagram message? First of all, I see your point, especially when it comes to the sex class. But we have seen his Instagram messages 5 years ago when they got blasted, when they were called in question because he was soliciting sex from underage girls. Those text messages were blatantly wrong. Now I look at this class, I think part of an instructor, especially when it comes to something so intimate as sex, when an instructor is there to teach a master sex class, I think part of the curriculum is telling them how to protect yourself, what are the union regulations, and he didn't cover that part of it, allegedly.
Do we not know that?
Allegedly.
Right.
Yeah, allegedly. Well, his school is closed down, so I know that there was some
I don't think
violations.
you could have a master sex class in this climate anyway.
Well, I think that's very true. The sex class was to teach the boundaries, and he didn't fulfill that obligation.
But I do think, to Jeff's point, because you are a Midwest gentleman, so you don't think this way, the answer to that, and I think it's important to say, why he doesn't need to do it, that's the point.
Yeah, right.
Most people who are predatory, and I'm not saying he's a predatory person, I'm just simply saying, people will say he doesn't need to sexually assault, he doesn't need to be predatory, but that's part of the problem. A lot of people who have access to a lot want the stuff that they don't have access to, the people who they don't have access to, and that's the reason why they act out that way.
Good conversation. Yeah. Well, this next video is going to make you laugh. Taylor Swift stopped by The Tonight Show. Her mom sent Jimmy a video she took of Taylor right after she got LASIK eye surgery. She was all drugged up. Taylor had no idea that her mom actually sent in this video to the show prior.
It wasn't the one I wanted. I tried to get this one.
I'm gonna get the other one for you. Okay.
This one, but what do we do with this now?
I'll eat it. I'll eat it. It's mine.
But it doesn't have a head.
Don't fall asleep eating a banana, okay?
I'm not asleep. My mind is alive.
That's my favorite Taylor Swift video of all time.
She's real.
She's real.
She plays plastic a lot.
Can I also say I'm in love with like her perfectly like made up bed. I know. With those perfect like pillows in her perfect kitchen. Like that's a bed that I want to dive into. My bed does not look like that.
Mine either. I had LASIK eye surgery too. I said earlier that I was in a closet when I woke up.
Yeah, what was that?
That's when I had my wisdom teeth out. I mixed up my two stories.
Okay.
They don't put you under for your eye surgery. They do give you some meds, obviously, to numb your eyes up.
Did you do anything funny?
The only thing I remember doing was going home and eating like 5 peaches. I couldn't get enough peaches. Yeah,
it's like a pregnancy craze.
I ate like 5 peaches and I'm like, I gotta go to bed. And I woke up and there was pits everywhere.
Whoa.
And I could see. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Wow.
There's peach pits. I can see what's going on.
That's
incredible.
Funny.
Yeah.
You're lucky you had 5 peaches in the house.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom must have just went shopping or something. I remember I was upstairs at their house and
that's crazy.
Thanks for the peaches.
So random. So random. Another Jersey Shore star is in trouble with the law. Raquel, fill us in.
Well, Sam, Ronnie Ortiz Magro is being accused of chasing his girlfriend with a knife after a drug binge. TMZ just posted this video of him being released from jail. You can see him right there. It happened just after 2 a.m. in LA. Police say his girlfriend, Jen Harley, ran out of their rental screaming for help, saying she'd been hit. The Jersey Shore star then allegedly chased her with a knife while holding their infant daughter. He then locked himself inside the home and cops had to break down the door, eventually taking him down with a taser. Jen and the baby are okay. Ronnie faces kidnapping charges.
Yeah. That's bad. When you take a child, and people don't know this, this happened with OJ. Do you guys remember when he went to Vegas? He got in trouble because he locked the door as he was robbing them, and that is kidnapping. That's entrapment. That's the problem. He has the baby.
Well, he also had a weapon.
And he had a weapon, so he locked the door. They couldn't get into the baby, which is awful.
This isn't his first allegation either of domestic violence. We've seen it also on the show Jersey Shore. Like, believe me, you know I have a lot of empathy when it comes to drug addiction, but at some point you've got to take accountability for yourself. You got to get help, especially when you have a child. killed.
Yeah.
So not much empathy for me here in this one. Enough is enough.
Yeah, and they show, I don't know if you guys still watch Jersey Shore, it's still currently going on, and they addressed this very issue on the show.
Really?
And all
What
the
did they
cast,
say?
The cast members like, Ronnie, you got to get it together. You know what I mean? Like they all come to him one-on-one. Mike even sits down, not forcing himself onto Ronnie, but he's like, hey, if you ever want to talk, I'm here for you, because Mike made him a remarkable turnaround.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A total 180,
Sober.
if you guys aren't familiar with Mike. And I mean, Ronnie has Mike at his disposal. He needs to use that. Mike needs to kind of get himself into that situation. I know he doesn't want to, but I know he'd be there for Ronnie. And I mean, what Mike has done with his life is incredible. I think Ronnie can do the same thing if he
I
can
hope.
talk to
I hope
Mike.
this is rock bottom,
Yeah.
right? I hope
It
this
should be
is.
kidnapping? It should be.
100% should be.
Yeah.
Well, Helen Mirren, who we all love, plays a controversial empress in a new limited series, Steph. I love her. What can we expect?
All right, well, she's starring in HBO's Catherine the Great as Russia's longest ruling female leader. And for those that aren't familiar with Catherine, she had many lovers during her bumpy 30-year reign. So it's no surprise that it would be part of the show. And in episode 3, Helen's character hits the sheets with a much younger man. No word on his age, but she's 74 and killing it, Sam.
Yes, she is. And Steph, let me encourage our viewers, and I know you saw it too as well, Stephanie, you can see the clip where after they have sex, you know, as characters, Helen Mirren does what, Stephanie?
She rolls her eyes and looks very unimpressed with her toy boy. He was not up to standards. Helen's got high standards, I'll let you know that.
I like it. I like it, girl. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Well, Busy Phillips almost divorced her husband, Mark, because parenting tasks were unequal. She tells Harper's Bazaar magazine, Mark was like, I'll do anything. And I was like, okay, then do everything because I've done it all myself and I'm done. I was fully out the door. I wasn't expecting anything from him, but what we ended up doing was creating our own system. Good for her. Let me tell you, Mark and I had to go through this. My husband is the most amazing father and very hands-on. But in the beginning, I don't know if it's maternal instinct. I don't know if it's because I was breastfeeding, but you do feel like there's an inequality there. And you just have to communicate. There's going to be bumps in the road, but you get through it. So I'm glad they got through it. But yeah, you almost have to reevaluate what are our roles now because there's a child here.
Yeah.
As opposed to when you're just married, you're independently on your own.
Yeah, and sadly, the father can't do a lot of things the mother can. You know, I wish I could have done a lot of those things, but you don't, and I see where the inequality comes in. I even witnessed it. I'm not doing enough. I wish I could.
And I think Mark felt the same way.
Yeah, so it's very hard on the father, but it's very hard on the family. Let me just put it that way, no matter what happens. But you do need to find your own way. That's why when people start judging other families or other mothers or other fathers, I get very defensive about that because what works for me doesn't work for you. You know what I mean? So when I love the suggestions, but when you're judging, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it puts a lot of turmoil on a marriage. Like Mark and I had to really kind of reevaluate our relationship, and it's the best thing.
You do. You have to.
It's the best thing, but it's also can be very difficult. So, well, we're like
both are
terrified, but it's real. Real.
Oh God.
Communication.
Are you rethinking? I'm rethinking. No, I'm kidding.
Communication is key. Well, an Airbnb rather, is adding animals to their business plan by giving people a chance to hang with some across the globe. For example, you can enjoy a spot of tea with sheep in Scotland. Look how cute. You can even walk Amelia the pig around Ireland. And rock band Kiss will perform for sharks. The group will use underwater speakers to play for them and submerged fans. Crazy, right?
That Kiss thing is so stupid.
I know. What if the sharks don't want to listen to Kiss? Like, I don't want to listen to Kiss.
They're all kind of stupid, to be honest with you.
I love this. And at first, I thought this was exploitative. I looked into it. They have actually, Airbnb banned things like excursions where you ride elephants in Thailand or you do swimming with the dolphins, selfies with the dolphins. They wanted to pair up with animal organizations that are completely regulated, making sure that if you have any sort of experience with an animal, that it is there to help out, so to speak. So when you're taking the pig for a walk, you're taking the pig for a walk. You're helping out. So I think it's cool. I love that they did this in a not exploitative way.
It is a hard word. I know what you mean.
I know.
I would have done anything with chimps. I was so into being a primatologist, so I would have loved this for chimpanzees.
Maybe if there's a sanctuary?
Yeah, exactly. They are dangerous.
Erica, what would you pick? Any animal?
No.
None? What about tea with the sheep?
Dude, I don't want smelly animals.
Oh, I would.
I think eating it. I don't want to go off your
amazing.
pig when I'm on vacation. You want your own pig.
Would love it. I would love love
good,
love
we're
it.
on vacation at Jeff's house, so you can take out the trash.
I think it sounds
Sign me up.
fabulous. Well, coming up on DBL, a touching moment between two friends has gone viral. See how a high school homecoming queen set an example for what it means to be kind. And we're going to blow your mind with facts about time. Don't miss the Friday fun next.
What's going on, guys? All right, so some of these are gonna, oh, I love this. So we're doing Let's Do the Time Warp segment. And what that means is we're gonna show you weird facts about time, and they're actually like incredibly bizarre. I'm gonna ask a couple of questions to these guys, but it's the last. Are you sure you're all right doing that? Okay. What is the one word you would use to describe yourself as a child?
Fearless. I was pretty daring as a kid.
That's good. I think, what would you say?
Loquacious.
I don't even know what that means. Please define it.
Talked a lot.
She said garrulous. Very
I never
talkative.
heard that either.
Yeah.
It's a great word. It also makes me want to have like a Coca-Cola. Like loquacious.
What about you, Tori?
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
I guess, yeah. But I was also like,
Lonely.
What about you, Jeff?
I don't know. I think I was
Stubborn and
What's the word where you want to be always seen? Attention.
attention or
What is that word?
just
Like
notice.
dramatic.
Okay. Jeff, what's
Wait,
the
what
one
is it?
word that would describe you as a little kid?
Curious.
Curious?
Curious?
Oh, curious.
Why'd you say cheerio?
Yeah, I thought you said curious.
Curious.
Cheery
I don't know.
and curious.
Because I've been talking for 4 hours.
I know, seriously, the same thing over and over.
And I have to listen to a word like primatologist without flipping his table over.
Will y'all write in and see, did you all understand what primatologist is? Primatologist,
Yes.
working with primates? Okay. What is it? What are you most afraid of, and what is it stopping you from doing?
Heights, but I jumped out of an airplane and bungee jump, but check,
What
done.
about for you starting that business?
Am I afraid of it?
I don't know, are
or
you?
is my bank account afraid of it?
Welcome back to DBL. It is Friday, and depending on how you perceive the time, well, the week has either flown by or it's been an agonizing crawl to the finish line. So we're going to take a look at facts about time that will blow your mind. So first up, the Karate Kid's Ralph Macchio is now older than Mr. McGee was when they filmed the movie.
Miyagi.
What did I say?
Mr. McGee.
And I know it's Miyagi. And I still to this day watch like Cobra Kai on YouTube because I'm a huge Mr. Miyagi's not in it, but I'm a huge fan of this franchise, and I call them Mr. McGee.
Wait, but to be honest, could we get that picture back? That might be Mr. McGee because that's him in Happy Days, not the Karate Kid, by the way.
What?
So maybe
Oh my
Mr.
god!
McGee.
Oh my god! That is so funny. I called him Mr. McGee. Okay, so Ralph is 57. The Karate Master back then was 52. First of all, Ralph looks 30.
He's darling.
Yeah,
Darling.
You could have just stopped there, that he's 57
That's
years
crazy.
old.
What?
That's insane.
You know he has a son named Daniel. Daniel's son. Isn't that cool?
I think that's really
Me
cool.
too.
I want to go to lunch
Yeah, you really like him.
with Ralph Macchio and
Fred Savage.
And Fred Savage.
Oh, that's a good trio, you three.
Us three would rip
Yes.
it. Oh,
Yeah, you
till
would.
5 in the afternoon.
Up next is Betty White is 6 years older than sliced bread. What? The beloved actress was born in 1922, and sliced bread, Erica, first hit shelves in 1928. Can you believe that?
She's been around for a long time.
Oh my God. I just like, who was the guy though that was like, bread?
Let's slice it.
Slice it.
So what, people just ripped it apart before?
I guess.
Break bread?
Who wouldn't?
It's just anything to make your life easier, even back then, and you got a great product.
Yeah.
It is about convenience. You know, that's my trip up about peanut butter and jelly.
What?
Like, I can use peanut butter for a few things. I can use jelly for a few things.
Can't put them together?
No, but if I get the bread, I'm committed to eating all the bread. That's why I can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Really?
These are the things that I think about.
Wow.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and it's been like,
You've been talking about sandwiches
I just
all day.
don't want to waste.
All day.
I don't want to waste the bread.
Come over, you could eat the rest of Lawson.
Okay.
Check out this mind-blowing fact. The moon landing happened 66 years after the Wright brothers' first flight. That's it.
years?
I thought, 66 years made sense. 6 whole decades, but most...
66 years from first
I
flight
know.
to the moon?
I think in 6 decades, you can accomplish that type of technology.
Well, we did.
I know, but most people's minds are blown. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, wow. I think that's
Think of
really
its
cool.
progress. I mean, it went from the first flight, then to air travel and carrying people across the globe, then to the moon in 66 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
That's how air travel works.
Whoa, yeah.
No, that's what I...
Whoa.
Just bite your tongue. 10 more minutes, and it's the weekend.
Coming up on DBL, a special friendship, you guys, that will absolutely warm your heart. See how a Texas high school student gave up her homecoming crown in today's DBL Superstar of the Week. But first, a DBL security alert, important tips on protecting yourself and your money from mail fraud.
Hey, welcome back, DBL Nation. I know it's been so long, girl. How's your grandma, your cousin, and them? Ooh, I hope they're doing good. Anyways, welcome back to Beauty Blast with Jeray for the Slay. Today, I want to talk to you guys about getting that skin that slays. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the highlight, the serums, exfoliators, so on and so forth, but I want to show you guys how to get that quick skin glow at home. Yes, you can do it at home yourself. So all you're gonna need is a little bit of Fix Plus or any type of setting spray. It can be NYX, NYC, ELF, whoever. Just make sure you get a little setting spray. I like to take a little bit of glitter, so you can get a loose glitter. That's my favorite kind to use. But if you don't have one, feel free to take a shadow pan and to go ahead and grab a spoolie or a butter knife, scrape off a little bit, and you're making yourself a little glitter, honey, and save yourself a little coin too. Now, once you go ahead and take that guy off, all we're gonna go ahead and do is flip off our little Fix Plus bottle or your NYX, whatever it may be. I like using Fix Plus though because I used to be a MAC boy. We'll go back to that story in the future though, okay? I promise. Now, what you can also do, guys, is also use like pure pigment. NYX, MAC also sells this, but for today, we're gonna use a glitter pigment. Now, I already went ahead and shaved this beforehand. It's nice and pretty and pearlescent, very cute. We're just gonna go ahead and dump some of that product right into our Fix Plus bottle, right? And by doing this, we're going to create an instant radiance fixing setting spray. It's gonna be something. My mouth doesn't know what it is just yet. It's cool though, no biggie. So go ahead, put your bottle back together. Bloop, 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 bloop. This is like a BuzzFeed ad, girl. Shake it up. Ooh, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Y'all heard that new Megan Thee Stallion song? Something like that. It's like Simon Says, hey. Now, this guy is ready to go. All you have to do is spray onto your skin and you have a beautiful pearlescent finish onto your skin. You can do setting spray on your chest, onto your face, your arms, your legs, and you'll be ready to go.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. A man from Van Nuys, California was just sentenced to 20 years for scamming the elderly. Out of $17 million, he used fake deeds and tricked people through the mail to send their monthly payments to him. He actually threatened them with litigation if they did not pay. So we've got some tips to avoid mail fraud. So it's really important to read the fine print. If it's too good to be true, probably is. Make sure also to track your payments. A lot of these scams will disguise their solicitations as invoices, hoping you're just going to automatically pay. Be done with it, right? And if anything looks questionable, do the research. Do a quick online search. And if a phone number is provided, do not hesitate to give them a call and ask questions. Have any of you ever gone through this? Erica, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, so, well, one, I received and it was a really, really good phony. It was for my credit card, and it was requesting payment, and it was just something that was really weird about it.
What set it off to you?
Well, one, I do automatic bill pay, so I'm like, why are you requesting payment? And then when I looked at it, it was a scanned, it had the logo, everything on there, but the way to pay was different than what it normally is. That was the best one I've seen, but I have Lifelock. So what I've done, and I would suggest people do this, you can register with your postal service, and it'll inform you when mail is coming to you, so you know what to look for.
Wow.
Especially in places where there's high crime, where people go from mailbox to mailbox and steal stuff out of there. So you'll know what's missing and what's supposed to come in. Then Lifelock actually notifies you of everything.
Jeez.
So if it's even just a strange algorithm, you at least know so you can check.
You must feel so secure.
I do feel secure.
Yeah, I need to get some Lifelock. We'll be right back.
Hi DBL Nation, it's Raquel here with Leo, and we have a movie review of Joker. And it's a lot to start on this one.
Yeah, for real. This is a serious take, guys. Like this is not as superhero comic book action-packed as the Marvel movies. This is
it's not at all.
very different.
This is completely deviated. I'm still feeling uncomfortable. The subject matter is serious, realistic, gritty, dark. Think Taxi Driver, which Robert De Niro is actually in this film too. Very
funny
different
enough.
role. I also want to add that Joaquin's Phoenix performance was powerful. It was very good. It's all the hype it's had. It lives up to it. It's well done. The cinematography is great. The style, the plot, it's good, but it's just a lot to take in.
This is not quite a family movie.
No.
If you're gonna go see this one, this is not for the kids. Slight spoiler warning, there is no Batman in this, so there is no real superhero this time.
This is really way too serious of a subject matter. It's really dark.
Yeah, it dives a lot into the mental psyche of this character, and also just mental health industry as a whole. And it's just a very serious movie as a whole, as I was saying.
It's really dark. That's the best way I can describe it, is if you want to go see it, you have to mentally prepare yourself. If you're going to go see it with someone, make sure you're both on the same page about what you're going to see, because it's going to be realistic and it might make you feel, to me, when a movie is too close to home as it could happen to my neighbor, it leaves me feeling a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's how I describe it.
Gritty, it's dark, it's a lot. But would you say go to the theaters to see this, wait for Redbox, or don't see it at all?
I would say if you're not a fan of horror films, because I kind of akin this more to a horror film than I do a drama or psychological thriller. If that's your speed, you should see it. If you are uncomfortable watching that kind of intimate violence, I wouldn't see it at all. I don't think I could ever see it again, to be quite honest.
Be aware of this one, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Time to honor our DBL Superstar of the Week with this heartwarming story out of Texas. High school student Trinity Arrington decided she wanted to share her homecoming queen title with her friend Emily Petty. Emily, who was also nominated, has Down syndrome. Trinity said she wanted Emily to have her own moment, so she walked over during the ceremony, placed the crown on Emily's head. The two have been friends since they first met, while Trinity spent time in the special education classroom. These are the stories that just, I feel like, create a precedent not only for all of us, but just that whole high school.
Yeah, I love that. Someone very close to me was nominated for Homecoming as a joke in front of the whole school.
No way.
And yeah, because they were so close to me, I made the joke on the school.
Good.
So I do appreciate that there's a different narrative now, because that's so important.
How long ago was that?
Like 10 years ago, maybe.
Jeez, I hope that time is gone. I really do.
I do too.
We will see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a good weekend. Woo-woo.